Good morning. Welcome into the game plan on Wichita's number one for sports talk, KGSO. You know how to find us on the radio, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. We stream this show on multiple platforms. You can listen to it at kgso.com, right there on our website. You can go to our app, SC Wichita is how you find that. Find KGSO in the App Store at SC Wichita. You can listen anytime, anywhere. You can follow along with our social media. You can check out our schedules, take poll questions. What else can you do? Play a few games when we have those up there on the app. Everything right there with one simple download in the App Store, SC Wichita. You can watch, listen, and leave comments for the show on multiple platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. We are live this morning in our Renewal by Anderson studios. Renewal by Anderson, superior products, exceptional service. That's what you'll find with Renewal by Anderson. Doug Downs, James Guarantee Garing today. How you doing? Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that. Morning, Doug.
So we started, and then you ran out and said, hang on, and I didn't know when you were coming back. So
yeah, I just had to get my my headset.
You're very particular about which headphones you wear, aren't you?
Dude, these ones are so cheap, and they don't fit around your ear, and it doesn't have the same treble, the same bass to it. I got to be able to hear the treble and everything. So, and this one fits right around my ear. Much better. You
know what's so fun about those, though? They fold up in so many different directions. It's so many people that have sat in that seat over there. It's fun to watch them struggle to get them back apart the way they're supposed to be so you can actually get them on your head.
Right, yeah. Because they can, go through.
Yeah, like they're just, yeah. I don't even know where those came from.
I'm good.
To be honest with you. Well, welcome, man. Welcome to the game plan.
Feel welcomed.
Are you good getting up this early?
No. No.
You will find out. This is the best part of the day.
I mean, I have done it was a 7 to 8 show back in Utah. I did, and that was okay. But 5:30 wake up, Doug. You're pushing my limits here.
Listen, it'll be light here in about another 20 minutes. It'll feel just like a normal day at that point. Now in the wintertime, it's a little bit difficult because it won't be light until like 7:30.
Right. And maybe even 8:30 now if they're going to do it this daylight savings.
Where are they at on that, by the way? Any clue?
I haven't gotten an update on it, but I think it's trending into the direction that we're just going to get rid of it.
Which I'm okay with it. I'm glad that if we're going to change time, if we're not going to continue to change time, I should say, that we're going to stick with the time that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I seem to like that better than the other one.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it better getting dark at 6 at night or even 5:30, like when wintertime comes.
Yeah, that's the other time change.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. I like my sun.
I'm not a fan of it either because then that means I usually work dark to dark. And I'm not a big fan of that. All right, well, we got some stuff to get to here this morning. Obviously, the training camp's going on in the NFL yesterday, first day of pads for a lot of teams, including the Kansas City Chiefs, so we'll break that down for you throughout the morning this morning. Baseball last night. I didn't watch any baseball last night, James. I'm sure you probably caught a game here or there, but with the Royals not playing last night, and that's typically who I watch if I'm going to watch baseball. I don't know why, but it is. So I didn't really watch any baseball last night, but we'll break down some things that happened last night in the MLB and the last day of the trade deadline. I want to get your opinion on the trade deadline coming up here in a minute. What else do we got? Brent Kemnitz joins us at about 8:25 this morning. We'll start to break down some of the NFL teams, too, and this will be something that will last for a couple of weeks, where we'll go through each division and give you the good and bad, at least our thoughts of good and bad for each team. And the reason why I want to do that is because you look at last year and going into the season, I don't think there was anybody that predicted that Kansas City would only win 6 games. Now, some of that had to do with the Patrick Mahomes injury. There were some people that did predict, like Colin Cowherd, that the Chiefs wouldn't even make the playoffs last year, but to only win 6 games. So I think it's good to look at these teams and say, okay, here's what we think is the good. Here's where it could go really, really bad, and they could end up not being the team that we thought that they would be. So we'll start that series today as well. And, of course, we welcome in your phone calls on our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines at 316-522-1410. So what do you think of mid-season trades?
For baseball,
for football, for basketball. You like it? You don't like it? What's your opinion?
I like it when a team does a trade that immediately helps them that season. Now, when we get into the world of when trades happen, for future, value, that's when you start to lose me a little bit, because I understand that, on one side you may have a piece that's going to help you win now, and then on the other side you're going to have pieces that are going to be there for you in a couple of years and can help you in the long run. And I know it's hard for some people to kind of accept a trade, and I'm mainly talking about the Tarek Skubal one. But we see it all the time where a team will give up an asset, and that's going to help the other team immediately, but then whatever they get in return may not help them immediately. And so it's kind of difficult for some to grasp that idea. But I mean, it's got to be equal, otherwise there's going to be some upset heads around the league.
I'm with you on that. And I was saying this yesterday, that the future prospect thing just doesn't make any sense to me, because you don't know whether or not these guys are actually going to pan out. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, fellas.
Joey, how you doing?
Morning.
Good. How are you guys today?
We're hanging in there.
All right. There you go. Yeah. To me, a future prospect trade is more you're trying to get someone off your roster than you are trying to pick somebody up. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, you just don't want to pay him. Well, and for you, like this is what I was thinking about the other day when we were talking about this. For you, like being a Yankees fan, like your team for the longest time was always at the top because they spent the most money. That seems to not be the trend for your team now. That seems to be the trend for the Dodgers. And that's what I don't like about it in Major League Baseball is the teams that are willing to go out and spend the most money seem to be the ones that get all the big trades.
Yeah. Well, let me defend my team real quick. They would go out and spend money, but they also had one of the better farm clubs. Their superstars came from within their program, and then they would spend money to put players with them. So some. Yeah. So, well, actually, their superstars came from within. It was the other guys.
Well, A-Rod didn't.
He wasn't the superstar on the team. Jeter was the superstar. A-Rod was the piece to go along with. So and I'll argue that till I'm blue in the face. So, just like right now, the injured player Judge come from within, the superstar on the team, and they go pick up players to go with him. So, but that to me, like I say, they used to get the rap. They actually still get the rap. You still hear, even when people bring up Dodgers, they still want to loop. They're still looping in the Yankees, and you could throw in the Mets. You could throw in some other clubs too. They're doing the exact same thing, but the Yankees are still going to get thrown in that just because of the history. So. That's the thing. And, speaking of my team, there was a disturbing article yesterday and they interviewed Cashman. And, speaking of Aaron Judge, really just don't know when he's going to come back or if he's going to come back this year. So that's, to me, a little alarming. So.
And the injury didn't seem at first like it was that bad of a deal, but I guess it's just taken forever for him to heal up. I mean, look, they're still 558, 63, and 50, only 3.5 games behind the Rays.
Yeah. But the reason that they have fallen behind is because of their hitting, and so and also, I mean, their relief pitching hasn't been the best, but really their team's built around scoring runs, and that's where they've fallen off. But so it's an upper like I think it's a number 1 or number 2 rib. So it's one of your upper rib stress fractures, I guess. I'm assuming, obviously it's probably pretty uncomfortable. But the healing part's the one you would think the stress fracture is really not a true fracture. And you would think it would heal pretty quick. But for some reason, and maybe one of those things too, but where, you might, who knows, you might sneeze and you might have to start all over. I don't know. So, but I know I've had a couple cracked ones before, and I mean, that's the last thing you want is to have to sneeze.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like you just broke them all over again. So yeah, and like I say, I mean, there's some tests they're supposed to run, but they don't know when they're going to run the test, and but that's also you have Bellinger out right now too, which doesn't help. So they're pretty banged up as far on the offensive side. But I mean, we still got a lot of baseball to play, so we'll see what happens.
A sneeze, rough time in the bathroom, it all hurts.
Well, Doug, at our age, everything hurts. So,
You are correct.
And as soon as something quits hurting, something else hurts. So
You are correct.
That's what it seems like.
Sitting at my desk yesterday writing something, I'm like, damn, why does my hand cramping so bad? What's going on?
That's just horrible.
I know.
So, but yeah. No, I heard you're going to talk about some NFL. I tell you what, I think it's time. So it's 1st of August. I tell you what, it's time, I think, to start getting a little excited about college football. I don't know when report day is, but it's got to be in the next week, I would think. If not, I'm assuming they're all there now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they've been there since the end of
time.
July now, actually out on the field and practicing and doing all that. I don't know how much of all that stuff that's going on right now, but they've all been there since, well, they've been there all summer, but they've been there pretty much religiously since the end of July, going through the meetings and doing all that. Yeah, we are, 25 days away from kicking off now?
From week 0.
Yeah.
So we're just doing week 0 again? So, yeah. Do we have an overseas game again this year? I have not heard.
Yes, TCU, North Carolina.
There you
I
go.
think there's a couple of them, to be honest with you.
Really? Well, good luck. So, I mean,
KU
really
plays overseas this year.
Doesn't seem to bode well for the teams that do this.
KU plays at where they play Wimbledon this year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, since it doesn't bode well for teams that do that, that's awesome that they're going to go do it. So,
well, but it's
great.
a little bit different for them because when they come back, they have a bye week.
See, that's how you got to do it. To coming back and then turning right around and playing again, that's just so stupid. Still 2 years out, and I still think that was, I don't know. And to be going over and playing I doubt KU's playing a conference game either.
Yeah, they're playing Arizona State.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I still, our commissioner. I don't know. He's doing some good things, but then there's just some bonehead things that he's pulling that just doesn't make sense for our conference and doesn't set our conference up very well. And this is one of them. I really think he's got to get away from a conference game in week 0, and especially at making it an international game. I know it's probably a marquee game on TV. It's probably the only game on TV. But still, I don't think it sets up either team very well for the season, and I think it does more bad than it does good for both teams.
I mean, it certainly did for your team last year. They didn't handle, I don't think, the coming back from that game very well. It's a tough deal to do. And actually, Lance Leipold talked about it during Big 12 Media Days. He said that he had called Chris Kleiman and basically said, look, what did you do right? What did you do wrong? And the fact that they got that bye week afterwards is going to help. But for Kansas, I think it made a little bit of sense here, James, because their stadium is not going to be completely done. And so their capacity is going to be limited anyway. So I think that taking away one of their home games to go overseas and the money that they're probably going to make off of it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair that that happens. But you just mentioned that they get the bye week.
Yes.
Afterwards, I mean that should be the requirement. Because I do know for the University of Hawaii, for teams that go there for week 0, they get that bye week the week after because they view it as the same kind of travel as they would, for overseas games. I mean, it's not that much shorter. It's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours shorter than a flight to Europe. So I think I'm on board with that. But I think it can cause some problems to get off, like to start the season off. And I think we saw that with Kansas State. I know there were some other underlying things that had happened that kind of contributed to the downfall that was last year. But, they just got to start the year off focused and not be distracted. And I'm glad that this isn't it's not a conference game, correct?
No, TCU North Carolina is the
right.
first
So
one. Yep.
I mean, that's the smart thing, and I've always been a pretty big advocate for not scheduling conference games in the first 2 weeks of the year. Let the teams warm up, let them get through the swing of things, and let them figure out who they are instead of jeopardizing a conference loss so early in the season. I've never agreed with that, to be honest.
Yeah. Speaking of stadium, have you seen a recent shot of the KU Stadium? Pretty impressive, really. I hate to say that. I can't believe I'm saying it. But my daughter showed me some pictures the other day, and it is pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. And it's something that they desperately needed in Lawrence. I mean, their stadium was falling apart. And even though I know you're not going to like this statement, but even though that there was kind of some uniqueness about that stadium, and really there wasn't any bad seat in the house in that stadium. Most of the time, though, you could move up and sit wherever you wanted because nobody was in there. But I went to a couple of KU Nebraska games over the years, and it was filled full of Nebraska fans. But even when you sit up top, it was a great seat. So I think that part you're going to miss a little bit, but this new stadium is very impressive.
Yeah, trust me, I loved it when, we used to put a bunch of purple in there, too, and go over and watch football games. So, yeah. So, well, maybe we'll just have to keep doing that. So, no, I did that. I mean, it's a cool stadium, and it's going to be neat. And I just, other than one game of the year, God, why am I saying this? But I do hope they fill it. That's the thing. That's the one thing, that I can say about as K-State added on and K-State kept building onto their stadium, it was because of a need. They needed the seats. They needed the space. And they would add on and they would fill it. So, that would be the hope that, that when they get this thing done, that they're going to fill the place. Because that's the last thing you want to do is build something like this and then you don't fill it up. So
look, it's pretty simple. Win football games and you'll fill it up.
Yeah. Well, at least, at least have 500 or better, winning teams. You should fill it up. I would hope. That's the bad part. So I don't know. But yeah, you hope they can fill the thing up, and also it gives you another venue. I think, when you're starting to look around for high school football state playoffs, that you could possibly hold, maybe some state playoff games. It'd be a pretty cool place to go play.
You could. I've got a little bit different perspective on that when it comes to that. I want the high school state games. I want the stadiums filled. And where they're playing them at now, those stadiums get full, and the atmosphere is great. Yeah. And I just don't know, even though we're playing more than one classification at one site, I don't know if the high school state playoffs will ever draw 35,000 into a stadium. I just don't think that will ever happen. So then I think you lose something when you go into those big stadiums. I think what Wichita State's done over there be a perfect place, especially when they get that west side done. It'll be a perfect place to hold those types of things. Again, some of these D2, Pittsburgh, Emporia State, Washburn, those have been great venues.
Yeah. Hutch is a great place.
Yep.
Yeah. But you're right, because if I'm not mistaken, I was a little surprised on the WSU. I thought right after state track they were going to take that west side down, but they haven't done that yet, so I was a little surprised.
They've started. I think the press box is gone now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, but you're right, because I believe when they're done over there, they're talking around 9,000, maybe 10,000, I think,
right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect to pack that place for a high school football game. And even equity. We've seen that with 9,500 to close to almost 9,800 people for a high school football game. Pretty cool venue. I know announcing a game down there is not ideal for you, but pretty cool venue as well, downtown Wichita for high school football.
Yeah, I think for a state game, though, you would have to bring in bleachers on the other side. That's the one thing that misses.
No, I agree. I think you would have to do that as well. But then you can maybe, if you did that, though, you might could put 12,000 or so in there.
Easily.
Which I think would be pretty cool. So, but all right, guys. Well, happy Taco Tuesday.
That's right.
It's yeah. So school starts here in about a week. Traffic will pick back up. Got to get back. Everybody's got to get back into routine. Kids will start moving around. High school football will start. It's gonna start getting exciting here in the next month.
1 month. 1 month from today.
1 month from today.
High school football, September 4th.
So, there you go. Can't wait. So I think there's going to be some interesting storylines for high schol football in this area. This coming year.
Final touches are due today on the high school football preview guide to our great partners up at Valley Offset and Logistics. So today's the deadline. We'll get all the final things today. We'll get a proof back sometime probably by the end of the week, and we will have that thing out 2 weeks before kickoff.
There you go. All right. You guys have a great day.
All right. You too, Joey. Thanks. Appreciate it. 522-1410 is the phone number. You're hard at work over there.
I'm always just trying to look for little stories.
Little storylines?
Yeah, just little things to talk about. Maybe we can elaborate a little bit, but...
Well, we kind of started off the segment talking about the mid-season trades. I've taken this position on mid-season trades, and especially for baseball, because here's what I don't like about baseball, and we got to get to break here in a minute, but here's what I don't like about the mid-season trades in baseball. And the fact is that you can't just go out and buy the best players, and that's really what we've seen the Dodgers do. Shohei Ohtani, and now you got Skubal. Like, that's – and you're not – like you said, you don't gain a lot sometimes. The opposite team doesn't gain a lot. If baseball had a salary cap and all the things in place like the other leagues do, it may be a different story. But I've kind of always taken the stance of, look, you had a chance to draft these guys. You had a chance to put them through your farm club and develop them. And if you get to this point in time in the season and your squad still is just okay, why should you be allowed to go out and just buy another player to get you over the hump?
And, going back to the prospect thing, GMs, teams, they favor the hell out of a prospect, especially if he's a high-ranked prospect. It doesn't move the needle for me for the immediate, what do you call it? The immediate result. You don't get that satisfaction. And so I think, but my biggest thing with this Skubal trade is, why didn't the Tigers just wait? Why did they do this deal on Saturday? Why didn't they just wait until Monday? Why didn't they wait until the deadline and see what else that they could have gotten? And I think that was kind of the big outcry. But at the same time, I mean, we can't be mad at the Dodgers for knowing how to build a farm system, right? Because they do have all those top prospects. Why? Well, because they drafted them. And they're not drafting in the top half of the first round, so it's not like they're getting the best absolute prospects. They're finding guys that they have a good feeling on, and then they just continue to build and mold them as they get older. And so when they find a trade piece like a Skubal, then they have those assets to give up, because for them, it's a rinse and repeat. Like, right. Yeah, they got rid of those prospects, but in 3 years, you don't think they're going to have another 3 prospects?
Or they'll just buy them back.
You don't think in a couple, that too, or maybe, hey, Paul Skeens, he's going to be on the market here in a couple of years. Let's get a couple of prospects together and throw something at him. So we can't be mad for them building a good farm team, but we can be mad for the owners being cheap.
And that's probably the biggest case right there. That what you just said right there is probably the biggest case for why I don't like midseason trades, because you do have some owners that are cheap. Look, we were kind of promised with the Kansas City Royals when Sherman came in and bought him that he wasn't going to be one of those cheap guys. Turns out he probably kind of is. I don't know. It's like football. Like you've watched these guys in college for 2-3 years, 4 years some. You drafted them. Now just develop them and make them fit your system. Back after this, 522-1410.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
40 to the 30. The Burners are on.
High school football is almost here. And your one-stop source for all your high school football is your High School Football Guide from the Mid-America Sports Network. Stay tuned in and hear where you can pick up your copy. Catch each team's season schedule, read about each team and coach, and follow your favorite team all season long. It's the Mid-America Sports Network Football Guide, and it's coming to a location near you.
Kingman Healthcare Center has been caring for patients of all ages for over 50 years. We are growing and now hiring. Kingman Healthcare Center is hiring RNs, CNAs, patient services manager, patient services representative, insurance biller, phlebotomist, and more. Kingman Healthcare Center offers competitive pay and comprehensive benefits, a positive, family-oriented work environment, and opportunities for growth. Kingman Healthcare Center is an equal opportunity employer. Apply online today at kingmanhc.com/careers.
Hello, this is Brian Davis. And this is Blake Davis. For over 50 years, Davis Liquor Outlet has been Wichita's trusted destination for beer, wine, and spirits. Whether you're planning a party, stocking up for the weekend, or looking for something new, you'll find a great selection at prices you'll love. Don't have time to shop? Download the app and order online for fast, convenient pickup. The Davis family proudly serving Wichita, Kansas for over 50 years. Stop by today or order online and let us help you celebrate. Davis Liquor Outlet. Each store independently owned and operated. Neighborhood locations with superstore prices.
A lot of homes built in the 90s still have their original siding and windows. If this is you, then call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. New siding and windows can make your house more energy efficient. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name for thousands of homeowners. Call them today, 316-794-3430, and let Burwell Construction give you a free estimate on windows and siding. And Burwell Construction will take care of all your guttering needs. Find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rusty Egg Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rusty Egg Ford. Visit rustyeggford.com. Family-owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
My name is Chance English. I'm the CEO of English Trash Service. We offer reliable, personalized service and are new to the Wichita area. We believe we can do it better. With so many other companies, the service goes down while the pricing goes up. We saw a need for reliability and customer service in the local trash market. If price is a factor, we can help there too. We offer competitive rates and the quality of service that you deserve. Give us a try by visiting our website at english-rentals.com. That's english-rentals.com.
KGSO Studio, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. Find them online at renewalbyanderson.com. Don't miss a minute of Wichita's sports station. Listen online anytime at kgso.com.
Welcome back into the game plan. We're rolling you right through hour number one. Doug and James with you up until 9 o'clock this morning. We want your phone calls, 522-1410. Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. Call the show. Be a part of it here this morning. Here's the one thing that I think is going to be fun this year. And I'm not sure how he's going to play in his final season. But we do know, based off of what we saw yesterday, that all interviews from Aaron Rodgers could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think when you get to this stage of the career that he's in, and this goes for athletes that play 15 years plus, they just start to not really care about what they say anymore. And I kind of love it. They become unfiltered because they're not chasing a big contract anymore. They're not maybe they're not the absolute face of the league, but they're still a prominent name. And that's where Aaron Rodgers fits right in. But he's never been one to shine away from controversy.
No, but based off of yesterday, he definitely is going to go through this season with the "I don't give a" attitude.
I mean, it was kind of it felt like a full circle moment when all that stuff was going down, and you just knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to find a way to speak up, about it because he was so against, his. I don't even know if we should name. I mean, can we name who he was talking about?
Yeah, Dr. Fraudley.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I called him that whenever that was all going down.
Yeah, so he's always been pretty negative and pretty against. What do you call him? Fraudy?
Dr. Fraudley.
Fraudley. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I should be expecting a lot of I don't give a damn from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I shouldn't be expecting anything less from him. He's got nothing. He doesn't have to shine anyone's shoes anymore. He doesn't have to put on a good image for him. But realistically, I don't think he's ever cared about that.
But here's the thing about that. If you think about all this, like he got blasted because he, did the
immunized. He was immunized.
Right. The organic vaccination or whatever it is that you want to call it. And so he got blasted by everybody. Like everybody came down on him hard during that time. He got blasted for all this other stuff that was going on between him and his family, and how he didn't, have this great relationship with his family. So then yesterday he goes off on the whole Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel thing again and says, wait a minute, you guys came at me all the time, and now we're just going to sweep this thing under the rug? Like, this is a person that voted for MVPs and Coach of the Year, and, like, why are we just letting this go? So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure how he's going to play. I'm not sure how good the Steelers are going to be, but I'm locked in for every interview he does over the course of the season.
Yeah, he should be entertaining, and I don't know. Something tells me that Rodgers, he still has a trick up his sleeve. He still can, give you that fourth quarter comeback, and hey, obviously he's
But with
not,
who? Who's on that team?
It doesn't matter who's on that team. He's going to find a way to get 20 to 25 points a game up on the board. I mean, that defense obviously is going to have to be a big piece to them winning games this year.
It's like the geriatric club from the coach down.
But I mean, it's still Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's still at the line of scrimmage. If he's not the best at pre-snap, he is the best. So pre-snap adjustments and being able to read a defense. So I still think that you get a slight advantage just based off of that alone, because that part to me is dead in football today, is going up to the line of scrimmage, making your adjustments, reading what the defense is showing you, and then doing what you need to do off of that. And we just don't see that anymore. You get 1, 2, 3 play calls, and basically whatever you see, that's what you go with. And I'm not a huge fan of that.
I think you see that out of guys. Like, you see that out of Mahomes, you see that out of Josh Allen, out of Aaron Rodgers, those guys that have been around the league and really kind of understand it. But I think part of the challenge and the reason why you don't see it a whole lot is, I mean, think about this, man. Look how many young quarterbacks we have right now in this league. Like, guys that are just kind of getting their careers. They may have been in the league 4 or 5 years, but still, that's relatively new.
I still think that but college can do a better job at molding these quarterbacks and getting them ready for the next level, because I almost feel as if what college quarterbacks focus on is just not just making the right play, but making the smart play. And it's not so much, it's post snap more. It's like react, not prepare. And yeah, that could be cool. And that's why we have all these quarterbacks that are really acrobatic and athletic now, because they have to react on a dime because the game is so fast. Whereas, when Phillip Rivers came in last year, that was so beautiful to watch. Him going up to the line of scrimmage, him pointing out to his lineman, hey, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. And then, he'd make the right read based off of that. And so that's what I miss. I miss a field general quarterback, one that can command the line of scrimmage and really set your team up for success on any given play. That's ultimately what I miss most, and I think Aaron still has that capability in him, but obviously his arm is not what it used to be even just 3-4 years ago.
Well, I think part of the issue you have there is, and I've always said this, like, even really, like, look how many over the years, how many really, really good college quarterbacks we've had that did not translate into the NFL. And you can go through the list of them. I mean, Tim Tebow probably tops that list of how good he was at college. That didn't translate to the NFL. And there's a bunch of those guys. I do think that gap is starting to shrink a little bit more because one of the tough transitions from college to the NFL was the play calling in itself. Like, it was so much more difficult in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video with John Gruden and Chris Sims at practice. Mm-hmm. And Gruden's just like, damn, man, what is wrong with you? Like, you got to remember this stuff. And I do think that gap is shortened because I think some of the college terminology has kind of caught up to where the NFL is now. But you're right. It probably is. There maybe isn't as much audible going on in the college game as what you see in the NFL for sure. And I don't know if there ever will be. I mean, if you got guys that you really try, if you have another Peyton Manning that shows up in college, then maybe.
I just don't think that's what they focus on. They don't really focus on the pre-snap. I think that's not what they're teaching these kids today. Is they're teaching them to have better arm mechanics, whatever, and to be able to have a stronger arm and make more throws. But it's more react than prepare, and that's a good trait to have too. Because when waters get hot, then you can get out of a sticky situation, but to not have a quarterback that you can just say, you know what, go on this drive, do what you want to do. That kind of worries me that there's not a quarterback out there.
That.
But to have a quarterback that has 4 or 5 plays just down, and he could just go out there and read it correctly. They just don't teach that at the younger levels anymore.
You're going to have the check-into play, right? So based off of film work, I go up to the line of scrimmage. Here's our third down play that we want to run. I go up to the line of scrimmage, but based off a film study, if you see this front or the linebackers in this position, here are your 2 or 3 plays you can check into.
Right, and that's what Peyton Manning was so good at.
Or the flip the field. You see that a lot in college. We're lining up on this side of the field because we think it's our advantage. Oh, wait a minute, the defense is not set up the way we want. Let's make a gesture, the quarterback hand gesture, and let's flip the field and take the play the other way. So you'll see that a lot in college.
Yeah.
But to just go up and say, "Oh, I've got an open playbook to change to whatever," that
has to do with the trust. It's because these coaches don't trust the quarterback to do that. And why? It's because they're babying them. They're not allowing them to be a grown up and play loose. They have to play by their strategy, by their ways. And I think that sometimes a college system can hold a quarterback back from developing into what he truly needs to be.
I think we can say that about all college sports, though, versus pro. I mean, look at baseball. Catchers don't call the games anymore.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
Basketball, I mean, we heard guys like Landry Shamet and Fred VanVleet say, look, Marshall had a great system, but he handcuffed us. Like, he didn't let us do the things that we were good at doing, and that was shooting or driving or whatever. We had to play within his system. So, like, I think we see that across the board.
And we're starting to see it even in my sport, too, in the soccer international world. It's no longer managers that have their own strategy. It's let's find players that we can plug and play. That because my system's going to work. If we have the players that fit my system, we're going to have success, rather than working around the strengths of these players and making a unique system where nobody else has those same guys in those places.
But don't you feel like in the college game, the urgency to win is greater than maybe it is in the pro game?
I would say yes, simply because they don't have an owner. That would be my my biggest takeaway from that.
I mean, you got guys like Ed Orgeron who wins a national championship and 2 years later gets fired. Like, that pressure is constantly there for these guys.
I think there was some of the off-field things, though, that kind of
well, maybe.
We don't need to mention what happened, but yeah, I think some
the
of that
hot tub parties.
No, I was talking about the gas station.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that was the tipper, actually, because it was the 80s wife or something like that. Yeah, he went off the little kooky edge, but yeah, I do think leashes can be a little shorter, but that's because you're around more emotional young men. right? I mean, those young men need someone to look up to. It's different for pros because they're already an established person. But these young kids, these guys are 18, 19, 20 years old. They need some kind of a figure that sets the ground rules and someone that keeps them in line, because otherwise we're going to have SMU of the 80s all over again.
Yeah, and here's the other problem with it is you only have, now moving forward, you only have these players for the maximum of 5 years. That's it.
Right.
And in the pro game, I mean, you got guys they could be for the rest of their career. So I do think that the urgency to win is a little bit more in the college game, especially in college football. The season's short. Conference games are so important.
Yeah. I still think that and this a little off topic, but I still think that there is a world where if these bowl games continue to fall off and we continue to have players opt out, and I'm talking about like these bowl games that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch to a format to where there's another tournament. There's another, kind of like the NIT equivalent, but it will just be for the best Group 5 teams. I think that's what we should do.
I think, and again, we're kind of going way off topic here, and this is something that we've discussed before on the show. I do think we'll get to a point somewhere along the line, especially if they take this thing to 24 teams, where we will see something like that, to where, yes, there will be some kind of secondary, like, national champion.
Because no one's going to care about the Boca Raton Bowl or the Cheetos Bowl or the Xbox. I mean, nobody cares about those. Nobody goes to those because bowl games.
Well, not anymore because players aren't there.
Well, I mean, even if they were there, I don't think the fans would. Because what? Okay, cool. We win a bowl game that doesn't mean anything. I mean, what? For some programs, it will mean something. I mean, me being a Hawaii guy, I mean, anytime we go to the Hawaii Bowl, perfect. That's great. Awesome. We're going to go.
Well, you just don't get the benefit out of it you used to. You know, it used to be like it gave you extra practices. You could get young kids that maybe didn't play that much, more reps, getting ready for next year. But now those kids don't stick around. That's the problem.
Right, but now I think if you win a bowl game, your program does get X amount of money.
Yeah.
I think you could use that for whatever you want.
Probably,
I think that gets thrown into your budget.
Yep. Speaking of money, you want to save some money, there's a way of doing it, and that's on your trash bill. English Trash Service is here to help you, a good local company, local right here in Wichita. Whether you own a business or you just need something at your home, maybe you get your homeowners association together and get a full neighborhood worth of service from English Trash Service. You find them online at english-rentals.com, english-rentals.com. All you got to do is go on their website, see when they pick up in your area, give them a phone call, and get signed up for English Rentals and Trash Service. Final segment here of hour number 1, 522-1410. Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. Come on, a lot of people on the road this morning. A lot of traffic when I was coming in. Thousands of people listening to us right now. I know you have a cell phone laying right by your side. Pick it up, dial us up, 522-1410. Back after this.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
KGSO is back with the second annual SC Wichita Cares for Kids, coming up August 27th and 28th. Join Wichita's sports station as we support the Children's Miracle Network. Hear their powerful stories and help support our children in Wichita. It's the second annual SC Wichita Cares for Kids, August 27th and 28th. And it's brought to you by
Truck Stuff, Jewelry Savers, Davis Liquor Outlet, the Wichita Technical Institute, the Sugar Shack, and Wichita Sports Station KGSO.
Every school pickup line has a main character. Most days, it's the kids.
But once a year, a parent pulls up in a brand new Kia Telluride, and suddenly all eyes are on Mom.
Is that the new one? I heard it comes in a hybrid now. I heard it has heated seats in all 3 rows.
And for a moment, the kids aren't the only ones in the spotlight. This August, let that parent be you, because Mom deserves to shine too. Or if it's your student's turn to get behind the wheel, find great starter cars like the K4 sedan and K4 hatchback. Plus, you can get 0% financing on brand new Sportage and Sorento models. And every new Kia is backed by our unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Whichever model you choose, we have big savings on great vehicles for that main character energy. Only at Midwest Kia.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. Right now, Hog Wild is serving up a $5.99 meal that's big on flavor and easy on your wallet. Get a 1-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Want brisket? Upgrade to our tender slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Pulled pork, juicy chicken, and hot links. Everything is smoked fresh, made daily, and piled high. This is real barbecue at a price that's hard to beat. When you want big flavor and a big deal, head to Hog Wild for the $5.99 meal deal today. Great food, great price, great barbecue. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
You know, farmers, top yields come from quality seed. Wheat farmers, check this out.
WB 4445 CLP is a hard red winter wheat Clearfield Plus wheat variety with excellent milling and baking quality. Bred for the Central Plains West, this variety has very good wheat streak mosaic virus tolerance. It also has excellent yield potential and 2 Clearfield genes for control of grass and broadleaf weeds.
This is Dustin at Kaufman Seeds. Give us a call for all your seed needs. Call 800-634-2836. Kaufman Seeds.
It's Wichita's sports station all in one location. Just download the SC Wichita app today.
So we'll get into this more next hour, along with starting to break down some of the NFL teams, what's good, what's bad. But The Athletic came out, James, with their tiers for quarterbacks. And I'm very confused by some of this. First of all, I don't think a tier should have like 17 quarterbacks in it, right?
Like, well, if it's the average one, sure. If it's tier 3 or tier 4, why not?
What about tier 2?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yikes.
So we'll talk about that a little bit next hour. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Rick, how you doing?
Well, my wife had her second knee replacement yesterday morning, so I'm on my way home to change my clothes and water the plants and get back to the hospital, but she's doing great. She's tough woman.
Well, good. I mean, I know that's a major surgery, so I know you've been through it.
I was listening. What happened to your 9 o'clock show?
Just had to make a couple of changes.
Uh-oh. That's not good. I mean, is it gone?
Yeah, so two pros and a cup of Joe are in the 9 to 11 slot now.
Okay, Doug. I got to tell you, you and I go back a long time. I've been a listener for a long time. You do me a favor. You tell your boss that I've done everything that I can to support Taco Tico and BC Creations. They even bought a weed eater from the pawn store. Tell him he made a mistake because those two guys are dippos. That's what made this station different is local. That pisses me off.
I understand.
I didn't mean to bring it on you, but that just pisses me off. See ya.
All right. See you, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. 522-1410 if you want to weigh in this morning. Would love to hear from you on the show. What else is on your mind over there, James?
I'm trying to just see where these tier 2s are at just to give me a better idea, but don't want to spoil it too much. But Yeah, this is
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not sure what you base this off of. But look, we'll talk about it coming up at the top of next hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
How the Athletic tiered up their quarterbacks. Chiefs yesterday in pads. It got Andy Reid excited. He gave an injury update on things that were going on, and it sounds like that Cyrus Allen, deep bone bruise. He'll be back in a couple of days. He got carted off. It was a big deal because he got hurt because they put him on a special teams thing, right? And everybody just like went crazy because this kid out of Cincinnati has come in camp, and so far without pads on, he's kind of shined. He's become a receiver that, look, going into the season, it's not like Kansas City has the best receiver core in the league. They got some guys, but they needed somebody else to kind of step up. And this kid is a rookie out of Cincinnati, was making some pretty good plays so far in camp. He's on a special teams play. He gets trucked on a special teams play and gets hurt. And everybody came down on Dave Taub, like, what are you doing putting this kid? He could be our star receiver. And you're putting him out there in training camp on special teams. It's like, look, this is what happens with rookies. Like, especially guys that are fast. Like, this is where you learn. This is part of being a rookie. But it's just a deep bone bruise in his shin. He'll be back in a couple of days. Xavier Worthy went down, has a shoulder sprain. Andy Reid explained he should be back within a few days as well.
I think what Andy Reid needs to have those guys do, and this is more towards Worthy and maybe Rashee Rice, I'd like to see those guys gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see those guys put on a couple pounds. That way, they can handle these hits. They can be a little bit more durable. And obviously, we all know about Worthy's speed, and if he adds a couple of pounds, I mean, people are all worried, he's going to lose his speed. But what has his speed really done for the Chiefs? I can't even recall a time where there was even a long play where Worthy was just so wide open. Like, I don't even get a Tyreek memory from Worthy or his top end speed. So why not just add on a couple of pounds? Sure, maybe your 4.22 will go to a 4.28 or 4.27, but dude, you're still going to be fast. Just add a couple of pounds on, man.
I think even Chiefs fans would agree, and that's part of the problem is that there hasn't been any of those Tyreek-type moments out of any of these wideouts. I mean, we saw some things out of Rashee Rice as a rookie that were pretty good.
Right, flashes, yeah.
But nothing like you had with Tyreek, for sure. But I agree with you. And we've discussed this on the show before with so many injuries, especially leg injuries that happen in this league. Like, you wonder, should you be changing up a little bit of how you are training? To try, especially like pulled hamstrings and stuff, we see that a lot.
I think it would help, though, if they, played on grass.
Oh, dude, don't get me started. Like, I've said this for years. Two things football should be played on: natural grass and outside.
And they're going away from that entirely.
100%. I'm not a fan. But Chiefs training camp, according to Andy Reid, pretty exciting. Seems to be going well. Pads came on yesterday. He liked what he saw. It's a long camp, though. Probably too long. Hour 2 of the show, quarterback tiers. We'll talk about that next here on The Game Plan.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier. It is officially Election Day across the state of Kansas and in south central Kansas, with the Sedgwick County Election Office saying that polls are now officially open starting at 7 a.m. today, going until 7 p.m. tonight, with locations in your area, which you can find on the Sedgwick County government website to find a polling location near you. They also recommend to use drop boxes or to drop off your mail-in ballot in person to avoid confusion, even though there is the 3-day grace period in effect if you mail it out today. Registered Republicans and Democrats can choose their candidates for governor's races, U.S. Senate races, and more, but non-affiliated and independent candidates also have an opportunity to vote on the constitutional amendment to potentially change the nominating process for state Supreme Court justices. In other news, the fall school semester officially begins on Thursday next week for USC 259, and the Sedgwick County Health Department is holding several different vaccine clinics for students to get updated on their required shots. The first clinic is coming up this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier.
News on KGSO is brought to you by Phil's Coins, buying, selling, and trading coins, bullion, and jewelry. It's 9344 West Central and online at philscoins.com.
Fall camp continues for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yesterday was the first day that the Chiefs were able to get out and practice in pads. Andy Reid had this to say about day one in pads.
Great atmosphere out here, putting the pads on the first day. Appreciated the effort that they put in. They challenged each other. You continue to do that, then you have a chance to get better.
The Royals were off last night. They will start a 3-game series at home at the K at 6:40 tonight against the Minnesota Twins. The Wichita Windsurge will be on the road, 7:05 game at Northwest Arkansas. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430 or online at burwellconstruction.com. Imagine a tropical paradise where the sun always shines and the fun never ends. Welcome to Blast Off Bay, the ultimate indoor water park. Catch a wave on our state-of-the-art surf machine, unwind with a cold drink at the poolside bar, or relax in our warm, inviting hot tub. Then get ready for thrills on 11 exciting water slides that'll take your breath away. Hungry? Enjoy pizza, burgers, wings, and more. Open 365 days a year with a perfect climate every day. Don't wait. Plan your escape today to Blast Off Bay.
Wichita Windsurge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Windsurge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Windsurge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
For over 55 years and 2 generations, the Southwestern Remodeling Professionals have been providing homeowners in the Wichita area with a truly unique luxury remodeling experience. From the initial consultation through project design and production, our team provides concierge-style service with a true focus on the best quality products and professional installation. Are you ready to experience something truly different? Give us a call today at 263-1239 or visit southwesternremodeling.com.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Garrett. Kansas State Extension Specialists are urging agricultural producers and fruit growers across the state to scout fields for green June beetles. Distinct from the smaller Japanese beetle, these velvety green pests measure up to 1 inch long and feed aggressively on corn silks, ripening orchards, and soft fruit crops. Beyond crop loss, adult females target pastures and high organic soils, laying up to 30 eggs per cluster. The resulting underground larvae causes significant root churning and turf detachment. Producers should monitor high-risk acres immediately to prevent severe yield loss and pasture root damage. K-State crop entomologist Jet Whitworth goes into more detail about what exactly these pests are.
You know what? It's a big bug that creates a lot of interest and a lot of fear in a lot of people every year. It's a June beetle. I think about everybody's familiar with June beetles. They're quite common all over the country, actually. The common ones are the kind of, rusty colored ones that we see flying around under lights at night, or in the next morning after a light has been on, they'll be around below the light because they're attracted to the lights at night. The same with the green June beetle. The green June beetle is just as the name implies, it's just a June beetle, only it's large. It's probably, I think it is the largest of the June beetles. They're very common in Kansas. They're green. The thing is, they get misidentified quite commonly with Japanese beetles, because Japanese beetles have started moving into the state the last 10 years and moving across the state, and they are a real problem in just about anything anybody's trying to grow. But as far as crops go, the green June beetle and the adult Japanese beetle can be a problem in corn, feeding on the silks, and or soybeans, feeding on the leaves as those plants start to grow and as the leaves are still nice and green and succulent.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network.
A mix of sun and clouds to start off the day today. Comfortable early, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm possible as well in south central Kansas. We'll keep that mix of sun and clouds going this afternoon. Highs should make it into the upper 90s. Wind out of south-southeast 6 to 12 miles per hour. We'll keep at least a slight chance of a shower or storm in tonight. Lows dropping to 74 by morning. For your day on Wednesday, another stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Highs in the mid-90s. In the Cake First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Frank Waugh.
At 7 o'clock,
It's currently 88
This
degrees.
is Wichita's sports station, K230PY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO Belle Plaine, Wichita. Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Here we go, hour number 2 of The Game Plan on this Tuesday morning. Welcome in to the Renewal by Anderson Studios. Renewal by Anderson. Installation done right on schedule. Make sure you give them a call. I'm going to tell them you heard about them right here on The Game Plan and KGSO. Doug Downs, James Gearing with you, hanging out here on a Tuesday morning till 9 o'clock. And we want your phone calls at 522-1410. Let me remind you of how you can catch the show. Share it out to all your friends. On the radio, this is an easy way, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. You can listen to us at kgso.com through our app that you find in the App Store at SC Wichita. Also streaming up on multiple platforms where you can watch, listen, and leave comments for the show. That would be Facebook, X, YouTube, and Twitch TV. We welcome in your phone calls at 522-1410, our maximum outdoor equipment hotlines. Going to get into a little NFL quarterback talk here. The Athletic has their tier out of how they have what each tier is and what quarterback falls in each tier, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. Now, just to put this in perspective a little bit, James, this year the Athletic says that their panel consisted of 8 general managers, 5 assistant GMs, 5 former GMs and other executives, plus 9 head coaches, 10 defensive coordinators, 5 offensive coordinators, 2 offensive assistants, 1 defensive assistant, and 2 coaches specializing in analytics and game management. That's the panel that came up with this. Each of their voters placed 35 veteran quarterbacks into 5 tiers. Quarterbacks were then ranked by an average vote and placed into tiers. They did exclude rookies because the voters have not seen them play in the NFL. So these are just guys that have already been in the league. Okay? 4 guys make up tier number 1. At the top of that tier is Patrick Mahomes. Gets 49 tier 1 votes, 1 tier 2 vote. I'll give you the 4 and then we'll discuss this. Tied for number 2 is Josh Allen, 48 tier 1 votes, 2 tier 2 votes. He's tied with Matt Stafford, who also got the same. Number 4, I guess, in this case, since there was a tie at 2, is Joe Burrow. 46 votes in tier 1, 4 for tier 2. That's your tier 1 quarterbacks in the league.
I can agree with all of those.
Do you agree with the order that they're in?
Is this going to be based off of the 25 season, or is this just like overall heading into 2026 where each player is in their careers?
I don't know exactly,
because if we're going off of
20 used with that,
if we're going off of 2025, obviously Mahomes can't be number 1. But so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that this is a collective study, not just from last year or recent, but overall. So maybe you just have to give Mahomes that slight edge over Josh. But personally, I would take Josh. If I, it's like those fantasy drafts when it's like, oh, pick any quarterback you want with any team, and who would you pick? And if that was the case, I would obviously go with Josh Allen. I mean, the guy is so unstoppable. He's so unstoppable, and he's not one-dimensional, which I think makes him more dangerous than Mahomes, just because of that. Because with Mahomes, like, yeah, he can scramble and will when he needs to, but that's not his identity.
He doesn't have many, if any, called run plays.
Correct.
Where Josh Allen does.
Right. He has those quarterback powers
right.
in the red zone where he just goes up behind 7 linemen and just push me in, guys. But No, I'd probably would. I can't disagree with Mahomes being over Allen, but I can accept it.
I think when you do a tier system like this, you probably don't really consider, or you can't consider, in my opinion anyway, like how many times they've been an MVP or how many Super Bowls they have. I think you just have to look at it based off of the analytics of what have they done in this position, right?
Matt Stafford being in tier 1's a little strange for me. I know he just won MVP, right? And he had his stats. But I don't know. Something is telling me that he doesn't quite belong in tier 1. Like he is a fringe tier 1 to tier 2 guy. I think the system that he has in place for him and the guys that he has work exceptionally well with his play style. But he's had, ever since he's gone to LA, he's had really good receivers.
Yeah.
He's had really good receivers. And I know that Stafford, gets a lot of credit for these receivers, right? It's like, okay, well, the 2 highest receiving totals ever in a single season, well, Stafford was the quarterback for both of those.
But I would argue that even when he was with Detroit, and even though Detroit didn't win back then like they do now because it was pre-Dan Campbell, I would argue Detroit probably wouldn't even have won the games they did win without Matt Stafford.
Right. He kept them relevant,
right?
And kept them, fun to watch. But yeah, without him, they obviously would have never have done anything successful. They wouldn't have been a thought.
My problem is Joe Burrow in this.
I mean, I can see that. I could see that.
How many years has the dude stayed healthy and played a complete season?
It seems like every other year. Every other year, like he'll play a full season, and then the following season he'll miss some time. And then the next season after that, he'll go back to playing a full season. That's kind of the pattern that it's telling me. But I've never understood. Burrow's been to the Super Bowl, and we all know about that. But I don't know if I can remember a quarterback getting as much hype and as much praise for being who he is, for making a Super Bowl, but then not doing anything else afterwards. I think that's the boat you're in.
I think with Joe Burrow, out of these 4 guys, if I'm just putting him up against these 4 guys, if I had to have a prettiest ball accuracy contest, I would take Joe Burrow. He throws one of the best footballs I've ever seen. He really does. But he can't stay healthy. I think sometimes his attitude gets in the way.
His arrogance
gets in the way. And look, dude, you missed a whole season because you had, a hangnail on your toe.
Well, he also had Swiss cheese in front of him blocking.
He does. I get it.
Here's the one thing though that I will discredit Joe for, and I know it's kind of an unfair take, but we've never seen Joe Burrow not have an elite wide receiver at any point in his career. Even
That's
at LSU,
true.
he always had Jamar and Justin Jefferson, and then obviously they drafted Jamar the same year that the Bengals took him. So we've never seen Joe Burrow not have an elite wide receiver, and I think that's probably why he does not get viewed in the same as those other 3, because he's always had someone. Where we've seen quarterbacks be able to produce numbers and not have that tier 1 wide receiver alongside with them. And I think that does help Burrow a lot. I think it helps him out immensely. And so I think he should get a little ding off of him, because until you can prove to me that you can win without elite talent around you, I can't be fully bought into you.
Well, if you want to maybe make Stafford a top tier 2, fringe tier 1, and I want to do that with Burrow, let's take a look at tier 2 and see, is there anybody that would replace either one of those guys? And tier 2 starts out with Lamar Jackson. It's a big tier, so I'm not going to go through all of them right here. Let's go through the first few. It starts out with Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Drake May, and Jared Goff. That's the first 5 in tier 2. Are you putting any of those guys ahead of Stafford or Burrow to move them down a tier? I got one in mind, and it might surprise you.
Well, I know who it's not. Can any of these guys? I want to say Goff, because he's efficient. He's an efficient quarterback, and he doesn't force the ball. And I know he's been to a conference championship game. Lamar has too. something about the big moment. I think that the big those 5 guys that you just named, those guys are the players that have yet to overcome a big moment, and I think that's why they haven't been put into Tier 1. So I'm okay with Tier 1 being 3 guys. Like, I'm not sitting here saying we need to have 4 in Tier 1, but I don't know if
I got you, and I probably am too.
I don't know if any of these 5 guys could switch.
I think there's one that's real close. And I think if he was on a different team, maybe even, we would see it out of him. And look, I have been stubborn on this guy over the years, but I think Dak Prescott is really, really close.
He always has the numbers, but the Cowboys, their biggest enemy is themselves.
Right, exactly.
And that's all it's ever been the last 25 years, my entire life. They've always had this battle within themselves, and I don't know what's going to fix it other than getting Jerry out of the GM spot.
That's the only thing. There is no other thing that's going to fix it.
Isn't Steven just as delusional, though? Isn't that what we're all learning?
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to take the ownership group, and which I put Steven in that, even though Jerry owns it. I mean, it's still Steven's team. You got to put them aside, and you got to bring in a GM,
an outside opinion.
Now, there's some analytics out there that say that this Dallas Cowboys offense under Schottenheimer is going to be like the 3rd best offense in the league.
I just don't see it.
It's loaded full of talent.
Are they really banking on Pickens really taking an extra step?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's loaded full of talent.
I know that the running game is
good
nice.
Last year.
The running game was nice, but it wasn't anything that people feared. It wasn't like, oh, we got to stop the Cowboys' rushing attack. It's like
that's
nobody
because their
feared
defense
about
was
that.
like a screen, and you knew you could just run right through it.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, if the Cowboys put up 40, you knew you could score 50 against that defense. So get a good defense, and maybe your offense is feared more.
Well, they had a good defense 3 years ago, and what happened? They've won and done in the playoffs.
Yeah. The rest of Tier 2 looks like this: Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. That's the rest of your Tier 2.
That, to me, sounds like those are the quarterbacks that prevent you from being bottom feeders. Those are the guys that will keep your team above 500, that will keep you entertaining, will keep you interested for the entire season. But these are not quarterbacks, in my opinion, with the exception of Sam Darnold, obviously, to win 13, 14 games in a single season. And I know Jaden Daniels did it his rookie season, and Baker has the potential to do it, but and I'm out on Trevor Lawrence. I don't even think he should be Tier 2. And that may be a little stab because he's in my division, but at the same time, I've never been bought into Trevor Lawrence.
See, I have, and I was out of college, and I thought that Trevor Lawrence was going to come in and take this league by storm. Now, to his credit, he has been through a lot of coordinators and a lot of coaches early in his career, and he's settled in now with Liam Cohen, and I think you're going to start to see him maybe be the quarterback that we thought he was going to be coming out of Clemson. My problem here is Brock Purdy, I don't think belongs in here. Jaden Daniels, I don't think belongs in here. Baker Mayfield, I don't think belongs in Tier 3. Those are my 3 that I have a challenge with. I mean, look, where's Brock Purdy going to be on anybody's fantasy
I thought
list?
those were Tier 2.
Tier 2. That's
okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Did I say 3?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
Tier
Baker.
2.
Okay, Tier 2. What were you saying?
Is Brock Purdy going to be at the top of anybody's fantasy draft board?
He falls into that category of guys that you can get late and still find good value. But he's not going to be on the top of anybody's list in terms of production because that team is not built for them to just completely air it out and have Purdy be the guy. I mean, CMC is a big part of that offense still, and Kittle obviously big part of that offense still. And those are the guys that they game plan around, that they scheme around. And Purdy's been nice in being able to adapt, right? Because this offense is not built around him. by any means or stand. It's not. It's not built around him. He's just a guy that they've been able to find that fits what they are successful at. Because remember, they had Jimmy G, and Brock Purdy came right in and basically did better than what Jimmy Garoppolo did. So I think that they found the right guy for their system. The Niners are not a vertical team. They're a very wide team. They like to run a lot of plays outside.
It's a Shanahan offense,
right? And so it's fun in that aspect. And I think you can win a lot of games with this system. But he's not going to be the guy where 2-minute drill. All right, headsets off. I'm going to have to go in there and do what I need to do. I mean, he still has to be coached, and it almost seems like Shanahan maybe still has to hold his hand a little. I'd like to see him let that go this season, and then I think we can, put him in that tier 2 comfortably. But until then, I can see why you're indifferent on it.
Jaden Daniels, again, I kind of go back to probably the same conversation I had a little bit about Joe Burrow. Yes, he had a dynamic rookie year. So did C.J. Stroud. He's not in tier 2. But what has he done since? Can't stay healthy. I don't know that I'm putting him as a tier 2 quarterback. Is the potential there for him?
Sure.
Athletically and his ability to be tier 2? The potential is probably there for him to be tier 1 at some point. But you got to go out and reprove it before you can just be put in this category.
And Caleb, I think they're also going off the potential.
Yeah, but dude, look, Caleb. I'm saying this right now, way too early prediction, but I think Caleb Williams wins the MVP this year.
Let's have him throw for 4,000 first, and then we can talk about MVP.
His athletic ability is off the charts. Like, it's stuff that you just don't see people be able to do. Not too often. It's crazy. I'm okay with Trevor Lawrence. Again, maybe a top tier 3 guy, maybe doesn't belong in tier 2, especially when we start looking at some of these top or tier 3 guys. There's probably a couple of guys that maybe belong in that spot, but I'm okay with it. Tier 3, at the top of tier 3, Bo Nix, Aaron Rodgers, C.J. Stroud, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Kyler Murray, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his name, Kirk Cousins, and that's it. There's your tier 3.
That's a little disrespectful. I can't have Daniel Jones in tier 3.
Can you have Bo Nix in tier 3?
No, I don't think you can either. I think last year proved that.
It was close. Bo Nix, 28 tier 3 votes, 21 tier 2 votes. So it was close.
Yeah, and I think he just needs to have another season like he just did. And I think for people to give him that respect. I'm not absolutely sure I'm bought in on Drake May and him being as high in tier 2 as he was. I should have just mentioned that, but there's no way that he needs to be even considered that high. They had a cupcake schedule last year. He absolutely fell apart in the AFC Championship game. He didn't play well, and he didn't play well in the Super Bowl either. I
think Drake May still got some proving it to do. The fact that
it's because he's 23 or 24.
I think the fact that he did lead his team to the Super Bowl, he's probably getting a little bit extra of credit maybe than what is really deserved. I don't know how you can put him in tier 2 and leave Bo Nix, who took his team to the AFC Championship game, unfortunately didn't get to play in that game, in tier 3. That I don't understand. And it's not like Bo Nix did it with like a superstar class of receivers.
Right, he didn't have that.
They're good guys.
I mean,
guys that were
good, but he's
right.
not. He's not a Jamar.
He's not
Chase.
Jamar. No,
yeah.
He's not Jefferson. Didn't have. It was kind of running back by committee because the guy's getting hurt.
Right.
Like he did a lot on his own to win some of those close games, which is what you want your quarterback to do. You know, you were talking about it earlier. You want the ball in their hands. You want them to make right decisions, right pre-snap reads in close games, and that's what he was able to do. So, and I'm not just saying that because he plays for the Broncos. I would say that if he had this kind of a season for any team that he played with. I really would. Aaron Rodgers, here's a guy that is in tier 3. Have we seen a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' status that has played in the league for as long as he has ever in a tier 3 list in any of this? Like, you know, you think about some of these guys, Drew Brees or guys like that played a long time.
Maybe,
they would never been in a tier 3.
I think Big Ben towards his last couple of years.
Maybe
I think he couldn't move.
Yeah,
he couldn't move his final year in the league. Maybe Peyton in his final year. You could probably throw him in tier 3, but
well, look, the way it played out, yes, but going into the season, I don't think so.
He wouldn't have been a tier 1. I know that. But yeah, no, a little bit of a strange placing, I think, for Aaron. But I would think, for being a full-time starter, yeah, because I could throw out Fitzmagic, but he was never really a full-time starter.
No, he was the best starter backup.
Best journeyman.
Right. Kyler Murray in tier 3 also kind of surprises me, to be honest with you.
He's got to prove it.
Yeah.
He's got to prove it.
Like, you got to do something here, dude. I mean, tier 4 is Malik Willis, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, Michael Penix Jr., Jacoby Brissett, J.J. McCarthy, Shadur Sanders. Those are your tier 4 guys. I mean, doesn't Kyler Murray kind of belong in that class?
No, I don't think he's that bad. Let's remember the Cardinals, they did not have a lot of pieces. I know they had Marvin Harrison and they had Trey McBride, but
this is a dude that says instead of studying his playbook, though, he'd rather play video games.
Yeah, that has kind of been the ongoing joke with him since he's entered the league. I think he just hasn't been focused. And let's not act like the Cardinals are this great, well-run organization. Let's not act like they're just loaded with trophies and loaded with history. This is the oldest franchise without a championship, the Arizona Cardinals. So they're not a winning culture. And Kyler Murray came from winning cultures in college. That's all he knew. And now he's got to go to this bum organization that's never been successful at any decade. And you're expecting him to just go in there and turn things. I mean, not every quarterback can be a Peyton Manning. Not every quarterback can change the trajectory of a franchise. And that's just reality.
I've always said this, though, about Kyler Murray. Great athlete, belongs on a football field, but I think he's one of those great college quarterbacks that's just not going to be that good in the NFL.
Oh, so you're saying he should have just taken
should have played baseball.
Should have played from the A's then.
Yeah, should have played baseball.
A waste of a draft pick.
I just don't see. Part of it is just his size, and I realize we've had small quarterbacks do good in the NFL.
Doug Flutie.
But those small quarterbacks, their styles worked with what their offense is. Kyler Murray's best feature is when he gets in the open, you're not going to catch him. There you go, your tiered quarterback list from The Athletic. You know how we love lists on this show. A little bit more NFL. We'll do some good and bad next.
This segment of the game plan is brought to you by Moneytown Pawn on Oliver, just south of Pawnee. Tools, electronics, firearms, jewelry, and more. Find what you need at Moneytown Pawn.
The game plan. KGSO.
This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
The New York Yankees, they have now had 2 games where they struck out 17 times.
It's happened 11 times in franchise history. It's happened back-to-back nights now at this point.
Yes, but they won one of them.
They just strike out so much. The offense is just lifeless.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
Stu Gatz and Company, weekdays at 2 p.m. on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
School is out. Summer meals are now called Sun Meals and are being served in Kansas communities at parks, pools, libraries, churches, and schools. Meals are free to all children 18 and younger with no enrollment needed. Find a nearby site by texting the word SUMMER to 914-342-7744 or call 1-866-348-6479. Let's keep Kansas kids powered up for summer fun and academic success. This institution is an equal opportunity provider, sponsored by the Kansas State Department of Education and aired in cooperation with this station.
Visit Maximum Outdoor Equipment and Service and test drive a Walker mower. Walker mower's compact design for easy maneuvering, out front deck for trimming, and a variety of attachments help maintain a beautiful, healthy lawn. Walker is fast and efficient, saving you time and money. Explore the Walker Advantage and test drive a Walker mower at Maximum Outdoor, south of Kellogg on West Street and south of 21st and Andover Road, or MaximumOutdoor.com.
Maximum Outdoor Equipment.
Every school pickup line has a main character. Most days, it's the kids. But once a year, a parent pulls up in a brand new Kia Telluride. And suddenly, all eyes are on Mom.
Is that the new one? I heard it comes in a hybrid now. I heard it has heated seats in all 3 rows.
And for a moment, the kids aren't the only ones in the spotlight. This August, let that parent be you, because Mom deserves to shine too. Or if it's your student's turn to get behind the wheel, find great starter cars like the K4 sedan and K4 hatchback. Plus, you can get 0% financing on brand new Sportage and Sorento models. And every new Kia is backed by our unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Whichever model you choose, we have big savings on great vehicles for that main character energy, only at Midwest Kia.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
It's time for you to experience the expertise in beer, wine, and spirits. With 2 locations across Wichita, Auburn Spirits is passionate about providing you with the most exclusive wines, unique beers, and world-class spirits. Whether it's for the big game, a night with family and friends, or any other special occasion, Auburn Spirits takes your celebration to the next level. Visit our east or west location in Wichita or find out more information online at auburnspirits.com.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
KGSO Studio, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Expert installation done right. Right on schedule. Find them online at renewalbyanderson.com. Don't miss all your favorite college games all season long. Only right here on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Welcome back into the game plan presented by our friends at Meadowlark Landscape and Design. You've heard me talk about these guys now for months. There's a reason why, because they are the best when it comes to landscaping around your home or business. They will take good care of your yard, your outdoor patio, your flower beds, anything that you need done. Fall is right around the corner. Very important that those fall applications get put down correctly, the overseeding process, everything else, so you have a nice, healthy yard next spring. It's very simple. Call Meadowlark Landscape and Design, 880-0227, 316 area code 880-0227. Talk to them about how you can get on their list for the upcoming fall season. It's Meadowlark Landscape and Design. They are the official landscape company of Steckline Communications. Good morning. Welcome to the game plan.
Oh, I'm fixing to go Rick on you guys. It's on. Yeah. What were you guys just saying? You're not really sure that Drake May deserves to be in one of those top tiers?
A tier 2 may be a little bit strong, I think, James, for where he's at in his career. Would just be my only point on it. And based off the fact that the one season that he did have all the success that he had, like even you've admitted before on this show, that like that schedule was crazy easy.
Well, I mean, he just played the games that were in front of him,
I understand
just like
that.
every other quarterback in the NFL did. If it wasn't for Matt Stafford being the, how should we have to say, I'm trying to be nice and polite here, the sentimental favorite to get the MVP. Drake May should have won the MVP that last season. He led the league in completion percentage at 72%. What else you want him to do? He led yards per attempt. So it wasn't like he was dinking and dunking like a lot of quarterbacks that get completion, yards per attempt or however many, completion percentage. Almost a first down every time he threw the ball. His passer rating was the best in the league at 113. So, I mean, it's not like he just went out there and just did what he, had to do to win or didn't do what he had to do. He went out there and played what was in front of him and played MVP stats. So regardless of what he does this year, he may come out this year and throw 56 interceptions. But I'm just talking about if we're going, because you guys had mentioned you're not really sure if they're basing this on a certain season, a full career. Well, I think it clearly has to be for what they've done so far in the NFL. And what he's done so far 2 years in the NFL is just break records. So you can only go, and I have a dog in the fight because he's from Chapel Hill, but I'm just going, you can't say that he didn't, he wasn't one of the top quarterbacks in the league as far as what he did last year. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, I mean, I think, last year he did. They had, again, I get it. You got to play what's in front of you, but it was a very, very easy schedule. And look, let's wait and see what he does this year, because this year he's going to have to do it against much tougher competition to see. I don't know. Look, if you want to put him in tier 2, that's fine. I don't know if I have him ranked 8th amongst this tier, but there were other guys in this tier that I don't know that I totally believe in as well.
So, getting off the, being passionate about that, I will say, and I thought I heard you say yesterday, and Aaron Rodgers, harped on it yesterday apparently as well, is that we're getting ready to see what type of effect, morale, locker room, team chemistry, whatever you want to call it, when a player, and it's usually a player, not a head coach, goes off in the off season and does stuff to detract from clearly what's the most important thing is them going in and playing football and getting W's in the off season with their coach. So we're getting ready to see if they can put all that behind them, if that's something that's going to linger on. Is it going to be talked about in the first 5 games of the season? I mean, we're getting ready to see if it's something that's going to be a distraction. Clearly, I hope it's not. Not that I'm rooting, for the Patriots per se as an organization. I just want Drake to have every opportunity to have another successful season. So hopefully in the next, year or two, he can get his ass out of Patriots uniform, because I don't want to see him play there his whole career. I want to see him move on to another organization. But yeah, we're getting ready to see how much of a distraction the summer activities were for the head coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, obviously there may be some of the talking heads that do some of these pregame shows or whatever that might talk about it. I mean, during the actual broadcast, I don't think you're going to hear much about what went on there. For me, it's more about, like, how much respect now does he still have from that locker room? And I think that's probably what we'll find out as time goes on here. But again, it's going to be hard to judge it, because from last year to this year, from a schedule standpoint, it is so much more difficult this year for the Patriots that I don't think they got a chance in hell to match what they did last year. But I may be wrong.
Well, if they come even close to what they did last year with the schedule they have versus what they played last year, it'll be a successful season. Clearly, the number one goal is making the playoffs and giving your chance to compete for a championship. But, if they can keep Drake, obviously, his performance in the Super Bowl when you're running for your life because you 100% can't trust your backside, you're just wondering when you're going to get, not if you're going to get hit, but when you're getting hit, you can't play the position like that. You have to be able to trust that your linemen are doing their job consistently. I'm not saying somebody's not going to get beat every once in a while, but, his left guard was getting beat every single play. It was just, it was a, what show. So yeah, they're going to have to, be a lot more successful as far as the offensive line to compete on, the schedule that they have coming up. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to let you roll, brother. Have a good Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. All right. 522-1410, our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines if you want to weigh in here this morning. Devin says up on Facebook, Dak MVP I don't know about that. We'll see. Again, my bet on that is Caleb Williams. And I say that for a couple of reasons. One, I think Caleb Williams is a crazy good talent. And I said this about Caleb Williams when he came in. He will either be great or he will be a bust. And I kind of, when he first came in, leaned on the side that he would be a bust based off the fact that I didn't think from a mental standpoint he would keep it together. The Chicago Bears, to their credit, went out and did things that they needed to do. They bring Ben Johnson in, who's able to control Caleb Williams from a mental aspect and really pull everything out of his talent. And he is crazy talented. One of the biggest talents that maybe I will see in my lifetime, to be honest with you. So my early prediction is that with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams is this year's MVP. We'll wait and see. Way too early prediction, I know. Devin also says, I bet my bottom dollar he has a great year in Minnesota, talking about Kyler Murray. Maybe. I mean, we've said this many, many, many times about quarterbacks in Minnesota, that they are with a quarterback whisperer who takes guys that you really don't think about too much, Sam Darnold being one of them, Kirk Cousins, obviously, and turns them into great. I don't see that out of... There's been nothing that Kyler Murray has done to this point that tells me that that's going to happen with him. Talented, athletic, I don't know, though, a great quarterback. That's where the problem lies. And can he stay healthy? Because he's going to run with the football. That's one thing that we know. He is going to run with the football. And he's going to run with the football more than what you saw out of Kirk Cousins. He's going to run more with the football than you saw out of Sam Darnold. And Kevin O'Connell and his offense, that's not a part of it. And he's going to get hit more than those guys did. So we'll see if he can stay healthy. That's the big key for Kyler Murray. All right, 522-1410 is the phone number. While James is away doing some things over there in the other studio, I wanted to bring this up. We're going to talk about and start doing our good and bad. I planned on doing it this segment, but James had to take off and do a couple of other things over in another studio, so we'll wait until the next segment. But some experts have come out, and I kind of like this, to be honest with you. Some experts have come out, and they're urging some new rules, especially at the high school level, to prevent heat stroke in big offensive linemen. I didn't guess I realized this, but heat strokes, 90% of heat stroke deaths in high school and college are made up from offensive linemen. So the National Athletic Trainers Association and the National Federation of State High School Associations are urging coaches to adapt some preventative tactics, such as excluding linemen from like mile runs during the heat, sprints, other preseason performance testing during the first few weeks of the season, not using extra drills that cause linemen to do up downs or run as punishment. Matter of fact, here's a crazy thing. Coaches that use those extra drills as punishment were cited as a factor in 37% of football heat stroke deaths. That's a high percentage, guys. So I do kind of like that this is something that now the experts are looking at. And look, you know me. I'm from the old school days where we had 3-a-days. It was in the heat. Coaches didn't care. You were lucky if you got a couple of water breaks in each practice. Like, those are the days that I'm from. I still believe that there's parts of that kind of football that we still need to have. But I think over time, with technology, with education, with analytics, with everything else that we have in front of us, we've probably learned that a lot of things that happened in the old school days were probably not the right thing to do. And certainly do not want to see young people die at an early age when it could have been prevented. Now, I will say this. I do think there's a lot of other factors. I think some of the food that we eat today is not as healthy as maybe it was. I think I'll say it. Some of the vaccinations that we get today, maybe we're getting too many of them. So I think there's other factors here. But I think if there's things that we can do that can help prevent some of these things happening in young people, then we need to take a serious look at it. If we look from 2000 to the present time, heat stroke deaths have gone from about 2.1 per year to 2.6 per year. So the bottom line is that we're not doing things to prevent this when there are probably things out there that could. And the article says linemen are particularly vulnerable to heat stroke because of their size and their weight. And look, I also think I played with some pretty big dudes. And when I was in high school at North High, our offensive linemen, we had some dudes. We had some guys that were big. We had some 6'7" guys. We had some 6'5" guys. We had guys that went on to have good careers in college. A couple of them even made the NFL. But when I look at some of these kids today, when I go out and call games, like we got some kids that are good size that are out there. So as high schools gear up to start their practice in the heat, I guess I would probably encourage the same sentiment. And I'm not an expert by no means, but it seems to me like it's a good idea, especially on the punishment part. And I get it. It's football. Guys get punished for doing things wrong, for not listening, for being late, whatever it is. There's probably other things that you can do other than send a 300-pound lineman on a mile-long run when it's 98 degrees outside. 522-1410, Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. Call the show. Be a part of it here this morning. It's a game plan on a Tuesday. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day as we come to you live from the Renewal by Anderson Studios. Brand new sponsor to the show. Make sure you get a hold of them. Expert installation done right and right on schedule. That's what you get with Renewal by Anderson.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. You know the place. Puts a smile on your face. Andy's the one for frozen custard fun. Made fresh every hour. It's your happy power. Top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Did you know my frozen custard is made fresh every hour? Or that our toppings are baked daily right in our stores? It's how we top your day with a smile at Andy's.
It's towing season, so that means it's time to come see the experts at Truck Stuff. Whether you're needing a hitch, a gooseneck or bumper pull, a brake controller, or airbags to level the ride, we've got you covered. We'll guide you on what suits your vehicle best so that you can have a safe and enjoyable trip. Whether you want to install it yourself or have our professional installers do it here, we thank you for shopping local at Truck Stuff at their corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, check us out. Truck Stuff.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience? Look no further. Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital and 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Kingman Healthcare Center was recently named a Top 20 Critical Access Hospital by the Chartis Center for Rural Health. Top 20 in the entire nation. Come see for yourself what all the celebration is about. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website at kingmanhc.com.
Right now, Rusty at Ford is making it easier than ever to save. Get 2.9% financing for 84 months plus a $1,000 rebate on all 2026 F-150s. With dealer discounts and 2 years maintenance on us, now's the perfect time to drive home in a new truck. Looking for something else? We have 500 new and used vehicles to choose from. And don't forget, we'll give you up to $5,000 over KBB for your trade. Visit rustyatford.com. Simply the best place to buy. With approved credit, 2 years or 25,000 miles maintenance. See dealer for details. Raptor's not included.
Hi, this is Tyler Fee with Fee Insurance Group here in Wichita. To be a business owner in and around Wichita takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and most importantly, passion. Being protected can help give you peace of mind. Fee Insurance understands all your sacrifice, and we are passionate about helping Kansas businesses protect everything you have built. The Fee Insurance name and legacy is at the center of everything we do. Guiding you through the risk of owning a business, you can count on Fee Insurance. Find us at feeinsurance.com. Fee Insurance, forward together.
Is your car getting a beating from the hail? It's time for you to go to Norris Collision Center. Are you worried about fallen limbs damaging your vehicle's windshield? It's time to go to Norris Collision Center. Jeremy and his staff at Norris Collision in Goddard can help you get your ride looking like brand new, offering quality auto body collision repair and paintless dent removal backed by years of experience. Norris Collision also offers windshield replacement and paint repair to help keep your vehicle looking its best. Give us a call today at 316-794-1161 or visit online to book an appointment.
Want more sports talk? Find more about your favorite shows and hosts at kgso.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2 here of the show. Appreciate everybody listening to the game plan. 522-1410. If you want to weigh in, love to hear from you. James just popped back into the studio. So here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to start our series with good and bad. We're going to look at every NFL team. We'll take it by division. We'll tell you about the good and the bad of each team. And because we're running maybe a little short on time in this segment, let's table it, and top of next hour we'll start out. And we'll take a look, James, at the AFC East teams.
Okay.
And talk about the good and bad of each team and what we think could go really good for these teams and what maybe go really bad for these teams. There's a couple of them in this division. I'm not sure if there's much good to talk about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it might be tough for a couple of them.
So I was just watching this video during the break of Davante Adams, and I can't play it because he says a couple words that we can't play over the air.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about how he got the number 17 jersey. So he comes into the Rams, and a rookie had the number 17.
Uh-huh.
And Davante Adams said, so I come in the locker room, and he goes, I'm trying to be as nice and pleasant as possible, and I want to teach these rookies, like I want to be, a mentor and a role model of these guys.
Sure.
But, 17's my number. Like, that's kind of what I've built my name around. And he said, I happen to have about $17,000 cash in my backpack, which I'm not sure why you walk around with $17,000 cash, but I guess when you have millions, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I had about $17,000 cash in my backpack, which isn't a lot of money, but I figured that, I would make an offer to this rookie who has played like maybe 4 plays in his entire career, has no attachment to the number, the $17,000 for the number 17. So I went up to the rookie and said, hey, man, I got $17,000 right here. I'll offer you $17,000 for the number 17 jersey. That's kind of my number. And the rookie looked at him and said, look, bro, I'm glad you're here, and I want to learn a lot from you, but I'm going to need about – and Davante Adams goes, and I even offered that I will buy new jerseys for all your family or whatever with your new number. That way, there's no out-of-pocket expense.
Mm-hmm.
The rookie says, bro, I'm glad you're here. I want to learn a lot from you, but I'm going to need $1 million for that number. So Davante said, so I just went to Woody and said, hey, I want the number 17, and Woody just took it from him and gave it to me, and he got nothing.
Should have taken it.
Yeah.
Should have taken it.
Look, when you've got a guy coming into your locker room that's proved himself like Davante Adams, and you're a rookie, Like, know where your place is in the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just kind of this new generation. It's kind of what their mentality is, and a lot of the times they don't put respect on those who came before them. And I think that is kind of growing a little bit, especially with these younger athletes. Because we all remember who was it? Not Jalen Carter. Who's the defensive lineman for the Giants that they just drafted? Carter. Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
Who wanted Lawrence Taylor's number. And
Right.
it was like, dude, you just got to know your place. And so I just think that is kind of the mentality of this next generation of athletes is, they all think that they're special in their own right because, our parents have been not my parent, not your parents, but parents have been coddling kids, right? Oh, you deserve X, Y, and Z. You're the best, blah, 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 blah. So I think that kind of...
Oh, they hear that from...
Right,
believe me, I'm around Little League sports. They hear that at such an early age.
Right, and I think they take that to heart and they just grow with it, and it never leaves them. Right?
It's just so amazing to me how many 6-year-olds are professional athletes in the game that they're playing.
But that's its own different conversation.
Yeah. But do you think part of this, and will this get worse because now you got kids that are entering the NFL as millionaires?
Right.
Like they've been paid millions of dollars in college.
Right. And so, but I still think that logic applies here is we don't care what you did in college. Like, I don't think that narrative is ever going to go away.
It won't go away for the veterans, but that is not going to be a narrative in a rookie's mind.
Even it's like in college, when you go to a college school, who cares what you did in high school? Who cares? All of us did something in high school. And it's kind of the same thing when you get to the NFL. It's like, brother, we all did something in college. We were all great in our own right. You're no different than me just because your value has a bigger number next to it. Like, I think that's, they're still going to have rookie dinners. They're still going to put them in their place. They're still going to have order. Right, it's not going to be.
Still got to pick up the equipment. At the end of practice.
You're still going to be treated like you're the new guy. I don't care, and maybe number one overall quarterbacks are different, but outside of that, I do think that the overall handling of rookies is still traditionally how it's always been. So I don't think that's ever going to change because at the end of the day, I mean, you still look at Shadur. That guy was making all kinds of money in college, and he's humbled now. Maybe not to the full extent that we all want him
really,
to be,
though?
but he's not out there flashing and making everything about him. And so I think he has been humbled a little bit in that aspect. Pavia, he's definitely humbled now. He got cut. He's not in the NFL. Who knows what his future is going to have for him, but he's humbled now. The NFL has a way of humbling guys. And whether it's on the field or off the field, one way or another, these rookies are still going to get taught the lesson. So they can come in and expect, numbers, or expect, high figures to give up their numbers. At the end of the day, though, I mean, you're going to be put in your place.
But I think this is the problem with NIL and these guys going in as the league. Like, probably as early as 5 years ago, somebody like Devontae Adams offers a rookie $17,000. He's jumping on it. But now, these guys coming out of college, like thousands of dollars.
Right.
Is not part of what they're used to dealing with. Millions of dollars is what they're used to dealing with.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a disconnect probably with the older veterans and then these newer age college guys. But until I think we see a quarterback try it, which I don't know if we ever will. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers isn't going to get Terry Bradshaw's blessing, then I don't know if any rookie quarterback is going to get a blessing. Because, a big-time quarterback in college – say Arch Manning. Arch would never do this, but just say Arch, he's been wearing 16 his whole career. Say he gets drafted to the Lions. Say the Lions draft him. You think he's going to go to Goff and be like, hey, bud, give up that number? No, he's not going to do that. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see this problem with quarterbacks, but receivers, they carry this diva stigma with them wherever they go, and I think that was just a part of it. Like, oh, yeah, I'm not just going to give you my number because you're Devontae Adams. I mean, I want to see a little bit out of it. And again, that goes back to, I think, this new age of how these players are being raised and how they're coming about.
What's so funny, though, is you found out exactly where you were in the pecking order from the owner.
Yeah.
When he went, no, you're giving that up. You're not keeping that. You're giving it to him.
I want to say that I think Puka might have done something similar because he wasn't number 12 when he first came in the league. He was number 17, I think. And then he switched. I think Tutu Atwell had his number. I don't know if they had made a deal or something like that, but I know Puka desperately wanted his number 12 back because that's what he was in college. So, but I will say this as a side note. I do not like that the NFL got rid of the assigned numbers for a position, right? Because now linebackers can be single digits, defensive linemen can be single, and I think that's just off. It throws off the aesthetic of the game. And I know that they're trying to, that's catering to the younger crowd, because this was an issue that the younger crowd had. It's like, I'm a defensive lineman, I'm number 3. Why can't I be number 3 in the NFL? Because, Bud, that's just not how it is. And they couldn't accept that, and that's why I think they fought for a change.
See, I think you'd have to prove yourself before you could ever wear the number 1.
Yeah.
Like, you have to come in and prove that you're worthy of a number like that. All right, real quick, good morning. Welcome to the show.
All right, real quick. That story was already done. That was season 1, episode 2, when Ricky Jarrett came up to the dude needing his number 18, and Mr. Jarrett offered $40,000. So, yeah, Devontae, he was a little low on the number offering there. He should have been offered $40,000 or $50,000. But, yeah, I thought that was funny. That was actually an episode of Baller. So.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That's all he had, $17,000 cash. That's all he was carrying that day. That's all he had. The good and the bad AFC East teams next.
Your latest news on KGSO.
Cedric County Treasurer Brandy Bailey has announced that the satellite tag location in the city of Derby has officially moved and is now opened as of yesterday after the Derby City Council unanimously approved the Memorandum of Understanding just a week ago, with the new location being at the library at 1600 Walnut Grove. And according to individuals that have used the location for the very first day, they say it was a simple process.
Anyway, about 11 o'clock, I got the call, be here in 10 minutes. I said, oh my goodness. So I got in and went. Got here, got my business done, everything's good. It wasn't really that bad.
In other news, spokesperson at McConnell Air Force Base said that individuals around that community yesterday heard loud booms as the Kansas Air National Guard were conducting field training exercises that were happening between 5:30 a.m. yesterday to 4 p.m. on the southeast side of the base. There were reports by nearby neighborhoods around the area saying that they heard loud booms, along with ground burst simulators and gunfire that were coming from loudspeakers. From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier.
The news on KGSO is brought to you by Truck Stuff. Whether it's your camper, trailer, or both that need hauling, Truck Stuff has you covered. Online at truckstuffks.com or call 316-264-1908.
Fall camp continues for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yesterday was the first day that the Chiefs were able to get out and practice in pads. Andy Reid had this to say about day 1 in pads.
Great atmosphere out here, putting the pads on the first day. Appreciated the effort that they put in. They challenged each other. You continue to do that, then you have a chance to get better.
The Royals were off last night. They will start a 3-game series at home at the K at 6:40 tonight against the Minnesota Twins. The Wichita Windsurge will be on the road, 7:05 game at Northwest Arkansas. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430 or online at burwellconstruction.com. Warm weather is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor space. Let the experts at Burwell Construction transform your backyard with a beautiful patio cover or pergola designed to add comfort, shade, and style to your home. Imagine relaxing outside, entertaining friends, or enjoying a Kansas sunset without the worry of weather. Quality craftsmanship, dependable service, and outdoor spaces built to last. That's what you get with Burwell Construction. Call today, 794-3430, 316-794-3430, or burwellconstruction.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal. Here's Josh Nicolette, Hog Wild partner and general manager at Harry and Rock Road.
When you stop by for a Hog Wild family pack, we'll send you home with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family a complete meal. And best of all, family packs are priced right to feed groups of 4, 8, 12, or 16 people.
Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit
We close at 8.
Want to get out of just about anything and look like an earth-saving hero? The environment is always the best excuse. Find your out and opt in to Cutting Carbon. Just visit theenvironmentexcuse.org. Brought to you by WildAid.
This is Wichita's sports station, K230PY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO, Belle Plaine, Wichita.
KGSO weather.
A mix of sun and clouds to start off the day today. Comfortable early, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm possible as well in south central Kansas. We'll keep that mix of sun and clouds going this afternoon. Highs should make it into the upper 90s. Wind out of south-southeast, 6 to 12 miles per hour. We'll keep at least a slight chance of a shower or storm in tonight. Lows dropping to 74 by morning. For your day on Wednesday, another stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Highs in the mid-90s. In the Cake First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Frank Waugh.
At 8 o'clock, it's currently 88 degrees.
Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Third and final hour on this Tuesday morning of The Game Plan. Welcome in to Wichita's number one for sports talk. That is KGSO. Over 20 years of delivering sports talk in and around the Wichita area and still going. Thanks to all of you that make us a part of your day every day. Thank you so much for that. Welcome into the Renewal by Anderson studios. Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. That's what you'll find with them. And a proud new sponsor here of KGSO and The Game Plan. Doug and James hanging out with you for one more hour. We appreciate all of you listening. Call us 522-1410 on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. We've been teasing this and talking about it now for a couple of segments, and it's time to get into a little series we're going to call The Good and the Bad. And we're going to look at the AFC East teams today, talk about the good of each team and possibly some of the bad of each team that may make teams that are in this division that we think are going to be very good and maybe even Super Bowl contenders. There's things that could go wrong and derail them, similar to what happened to Kansas City last year. And there are some issues with – here's the thing about the NFL. As good as these teams are that we think are going to be Super Bowl contenders, there are deficiencies in every team in the NFL. Like, there's weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And if that weakness overcomes the good – you end up with 6 wins, which is what happened to Kansas City last year. It's really the difference between possibly being a Super Bowl contender and possibly being a top 10 draft pick. It really is. So the AFC East obviously made up of the Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Patriots. Let's start at the top because the ones at the bottom, I'm not sure how much good there is that we can really talk about. But let's start with the Patriots. And for me, the good is this team found out how to bring back the winning last year by making it all the way to the Super Bowl. And I think that confidence that you get from that, knowing that your organization is well ran, knowing that your organization has a group of players that obviously know how to play with each other, you've got a good young quarterback that showed really great things last year. Like, I think all that comes together and can propel you to have another great season. And I don't expect the Patriots to have the season they had last year from win-loss totals because of the schedule that they're playing this year, but I still expect them to be a contender.
You're focusing a lot of the on-field things. I'm going to focus on the off-field things. I think that they have a lot of noise going on in their locker room right now. And I'm going to bring it up. I don't like how Mike Vrabel brought a dog to his opening press conference as if we all forgot what had happened in the offseason. So that's its own entity in its own self. I know he's not going to obviously make that a point and a focus this year, but I do think that they can start off slow because he just has all that noise that he had to deal with, and he couldn't really do football during that time. So that's number one. Number two, I do think that the schedule that they had last year had a lot to do with their success. Now they get a first place schedule, completely different. It's north and south when it comes to the differences between a fourth and a first place schedule. You don't get any breaks, and that to me last year seemed like their entire schedule was a break. With that being said, I do believe that Drake May obviously is that right piece that the Patriots need to go forward. I'm not completely bought in on him. I do know that, obviously getting A.J. Brown's going to help him. I've never been sold on Drake May being a vertical guy. I not yet. I'm not saying he doesn't have the capability of doing so, but I'm just waiting for that. And then hopefully we do get to see that with A.J. Brown being able to stretch the field this year, because that's kind of been the Patriots' biggest weakness, is they haven't been able to stretch the field. I mean, towards the later ends of Brady's years there, no vertical play. And then even during the Mac Jones era, they didn't really have a vertical ball either. So I think finally this might be the one year where we are going to get used to seeing them push the ball vertically down the field. So that might be a little bit different. But I think ultimately what worked best for them was their run game, because now they have Travion Henderson, who I think was an excellent pick for them. But they still have, I call him a different name, but they still have Ramondre Stevenson over there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to still use him as kind of the lead guy, but they need to be a balanced offense. I mean, this is a team that is built to be balanced. They have a decent offensive line.
It's a Josh McDaniels scheme.
Right, and so it's going to be very dink and dunk with an occasional deep bomb and, a lot of, left to right running plays. McDaniels is not a very upfield kind of a runner, so I don't expect the offense to change much other than now that they have A.J. Brown, a legitimate deep ball guy, because that was kind of his biggest bugaboo in Philly, is he wasn't getting enough of those.
Yeah, and I think if you go back to Drake May's North Carolina days, you will realize that he does have a strong arm. He does have the ability to take the ball deep down the field and to be pretty accurate with it. We haven't seen that so much as a Patriot, but we did see that when he played for the Tar Heels his last season there. So I do think with A.J. Brown that's going to make a difference. I think here's one of the bads that they're going to have to deal with. They could possibly be below 500 after their first 5 weeks, which is not what they dealt with last year. They're on the road at Seattle to start. They get the Steelers at home. They got to go to the Jaguars. They got to go to the Bills, and then they get the Raiders. If they happen to lose all their road games, they're 2-3 to start the season in the first 5.
Yeah, and that's a tough mountain to climb. But when really you only have to worry about one other team in this division, right. I don't think you can dig yourself too big of a hole. But those first 5 weeks, I mean, it depends on what Buffalo does too. Whatever they do, it's obviously going to put some pressure on New England. And now they have the target on their back. I mean, last year they played with no stress, no worry. It was kind of like, let's just go out there and ball, see what happens.
Right.
And now people are awake. People are aware that this team, they're back, and we have to act like they are a legit contender, and this wasn't just a 1-year fluke, which I think a lot of fans are kind of alluding to, that was kind of just a 1-year run. It won't be sustainable. But Vrabel's a good coach, and I think he can still keep that locker room pretty level for the most part. I think that's kind of one of his specialties. He can relate to the guys. He was one of them. So I think that is a recipe for guys to rally around and go on a run like they did last year, and I think that worked out perfectly.
In my mind, my way too early prediction mind, I don't have New England going back to the Super Bowl.
No, that's fair.
I don't even have them going back to the AFC Championship game.
That's fair too.
So, all right, Buffalo Bills. I mean, look, the good probably starts and stops with the fact that you got Josh Allen. I don't. Once you have him, there's a lot of good that goes on. I do think we're going to see a different Josh Allen even this year that will solidify him as the true number one quarterback in the league, to be honest with you. And I think it's the fact that Joe Brady, he finally has an offensive-minded head coach. And even though he was with Brady last year as the coordinator, it's a little bit different when that guy is the head coach.
Yep.
And so I think you're going to see an offense that's going to be a little bit more creative. They're still going to use Josh Allen running the football. They're still going to use him, throwing the ball. But I think you are going to see probably some more plays down the field. I think there'll be a lot more emphasis put on better offensive line play. So I expect the Buffalo offense to be better than it's ever been.
This one's a little tricky for me. I'd like to think that Buffalo, it doesn't matter who they have out there as long as 17 is behind center, they have a shot. Doesn't matter who they bring in. But I think DJ Moore is kind of that prototypical kind of a player that Buffalo needs. And they're okay with not having a diva wide receiver. I know they tried it with Diggs, and they had some success with him, but ultimately didn't reach what they wanted to. And he had a little bit of an ego, whatever. I don't know if his ego actually, brought the team morale down. I didn't see it affected all that much. But now you bring in a guy like DJ Moore who has something to prove. I mean, he's been traded or he's been tossed around now, and this is his third team. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder now that he was the number one in Chicago last year. But I think he's going to come with a different.
Has turned out to be one of the better wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, I think he fits well with Buffalo because a lot of Josh Allen's throws are unscripted. Like he makes so many unscripted throws, and his receivers do such a good job at adjusting to wherever he's rolling to and to be able to find space. That's what Buffalo has exceeded at, especially over the last 2 to 3 years, more so than I think Kansas City. Because when Patrick Mahomes first came in, we all remember his acrobatic plays that he would do on a flip. Josh Allen has kind of started to mold into that as well. And that's dangerous because you can't game plan for an unscripted play. And he does so well at that. And Buffalo really does. I think they take pride in the fact that they don't have egos, right? And that they're just, one machine all together and in unison. So I think that's going to be the ultimate driver for them. The bad that I can see happening from this team is obviously, and I don't want to make these bad things all pertaining to injuries because obviously that's like a no-brainer, worst possible thing, right? It's going to happen, but the ugly is James Cook. If you don't have James Cook out there, I don't know how effective this offense can truly be. And I know he hasn't had any scares like that. He hasn't had any moments where you think, oh, he may not be able to go, but I think James Cook is just as important to this offense as Josh Allen is.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I think that they are going to sparingly, I say this, sparingly may not be the right word. I don't think James Cook is going to be the focal point of this offense. Like, they're going to use him in ways where they can kind of protect him a little bit.
I mean, he's a big red zone guy, but he had a lot of yards last
Yeah.
year, a lot of rushing yards. And so part of that is you have to respect Allen's ability to run as well.
Exactly.
And so I think that does open it up for him. But the Bills are a sound team, and you look at their offensive line, and there's not a household name on that offensive line. And that's maybe Deion Dawkins. But outside of him, there's just names that are just names. And so that's really where you find the true value is finding good offensive linemen that don't have that household value, because then you can still put together a very well-rounded line. And, Buffalo's linemen, they don't excel in passing or excel in rush. They're good at both of them just as equally. So I think that's another thing that makes them scary is their linemen, they are good at both pass blocking and run blocking as well.
I think for Buffalo, the key is going to be, did their defense, especially in the defensive backfield at all, did they make any moves at all to improve that?
They brought in C.J. Gardner-Johnson from Chicago, and I know he's been kind of passed around now a little bit, but
right.
he's a veteran. He's someone that can.
But he's one of these guys I think that has to come and prove himself again, right?
Yeah, because that playoff run I think he had, I can't remember which team he was on, but it was bad, and he got exposed bad. So, but they also do have your former guy Bradley Chubb now, so I think that gives them a little bit of an edge presence, a little bit, not crazy.
How ironic is this? Like, Denver took him over Josh Allen. And now he's playing with Josh Allen.
But their secondary, I think,
believe
is
me, I
still
remember that
be,
2018 draft like it was yesterday. Just yelling.
Their secondary is still going to have some question marks. Because their secondary guys are not what they were 3-4 years ago. I think they have fallen off a little bit. And I think all of this comes naturally.
The kid, Lamar Hamlin was like starting for him last year.
He's a backup.
I know, but he was starting for them last year.
He's not. No, he's not someone that I'm worried about. That if he's lined up in the secondary, I'm sorry.
Their first five is kind of brutal. They open the season on the road at the Texans, which is kind of crazy that they're opening the season on the road when they have a brand new stadium. Then they get the Lions to open the stadium. Then they get the Chargers at home. They get the Patriots at home, and then they go to the Rams.
That's pretty brutal.
That's a tough first 5 right there, which is probably part of the bad is their schedule doesn't line up to open the season very well. The New York Jets. Believe it or not, I think there is probably more good out of this team than what we think. I'm not sold on Aaron Glenn as a head coach. We'll have to see if there's anything there for him. Obviously, having Breece Hall is a huge, huge uptick as long as Breece can stay healthy. And you've got a backup running back that's a big bruiser running back, so you're not going to have Breece in on every single down. You're not going to have Breece in on 3rd and 3 yardage when you can put in the backup that can get you those 3 yards that to maybe protect him a little bit. You got a guy that's got experience in Geno Smith, who's not a terrible quarterback. I don't know if I put him in the good category either. I think he's just kind of right there in between. Offensive line for the Jets hasn't been bad over the years. So I think offensively this team can make a little noise. Defensively, though, they can't stop anything. And again, I think it all starts with the head coach. And I don't know if Aaron Glenn, I think he may prove out to be he's a better coordinator than head coach.
Yeah, I think he could fall into that category of coaches. But I mean, you have to try. You have to try and see if you can be the lead guy for a team. But there was Chip Kelly's a prime example of this. He's a great coordinator, just not a good head coach.
Right.
I think everybody can agree on that. The ugly from this team can get very bad.
They're a high draft pick team again.
Yeah,
They did draft well, by the way.
They did, and I did like their draft. I think D'Angelo Pons is going to be a very nice nickelback for them.
Yeah.
He won't be asked to do a whole lot, I think, in year one, and I think that's going to be a change for him because he was the lockdown corner for Indiana, right? He was the slot guy too because he's a little smaller, but he'll be able to keep up with those slot receivers that teams have. So I think that was a great pickup. Obviously David Bailey being there as one of their first round picks. He'll be at their left outside linebacker, but yeah, they'll have 8 new guys on defense this year. And I think that's that had to happen. You could not roll out there with the same defense that you had a year ago. But they still have Sherwood from last year, but a new middle linebacker, a new outside linebacker, a new corner. Minkah Fitzpatrick came over too. So I mean, they have the right pieces, but I think their biggest enemy again is themselves, right? They have to beat themselves, and they have to win the fans over, in my opinion, because they have put this team through.
Have you ever been around New York sports fans before? Do you ever really
miserable.
win them over?
They're miserable.
Ever?
I mean, maybe the Yankees fans of the 90s, they were won over, and maybe those 2000 teams they were won over. But yeah, no, it's hard to win them over, but that's got to be step one. You got to get the support from your fans in order, I think, to get things to change. And I could go on the other side and say, yeah, I think Woody Johnson needs to sell. I think he should have sold the team 10 years ago. He to me, he's one of those owners that doesn't care about winning.
He's a billionaire.
He doesn't care about winning. He cares about his pockets. And I've said this in the past before, but if you have an owner that doesn't care about winning, you're rooting for the wrong team. Because you're never ever going to get that satisfaction because you have a different vision than the owner does. So I don't know if the Jets are ever going to be a team that is, ever considered a threat. I just think they make too many bonehead mistakes within their own organization, kind of like Cleveland, to be ever taken seriously. And I don't even know if there can be a good happening from this team. I think Geno was just kind of a last resort, like, damn, there's nobody else, so let's just go get this guy that we had a decade ago and see what happens.
And I think, a lot of people will say, why did Breece Hall sign that contract extension?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, look, they're going to pay him. He's at the time was the 3rd largest paid running back in the league. Now he's dropped down because of Bijan signing. But
by the time that he gets his next contract, though, he'll be available for another team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. He'll still be healthy, too. I mean, because they have another running back, like I said, that they'll utilize in those tough situations.
Braylon Allen is a tank.
Yeah.
That guy's unbelievable. He's only like 21. He's unbelievably built.
Then we've got the Miami Dolphins. I'll be honest with you, James. I know nothing about Miami. I had to look up who their starting quarterback's expected to be.
Oof.
Malik Willis. Like, I know nothing about this team. They have a defensive-minded head coach now who came from Green Bay, and Jeff Haley. I don't even know if I can name personnel from the Miami Dolphins. I mean, they got rid of everybody.
To me, this is a team that is all in for Arch. The moment that they decided to reach out to Malik Willis and make him their quarterback, I said, they're tanking for Arch. That's all this is.
But there's no guarantee that Arch is even going to come out.
Oh, he'll come out after this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think 3 years in college. I think he's gonna make that jump.
I've said this before. If he goes to Texas and he has a great season, he's going to be the man walking around campus. He already is. He'll be even more the man. He'll be up for Heisman talk. He doesn't need the money.
No.
Like, what is his reason to come out and go to a place like the Dolphins?
Because it's Miami.
Do you think Arch Manning cares about Miami?
I mean, you've seen those videos of Arch going around in those inner city neighborhoods and making friends with them. I mean, he's friends with all. He befriends everybody. So I mean, I think he can adapt to whatever situation is thrown at him. But he's obviously, it's not a guarantee. I'm not saying yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm banking on it. But this, to me, Miami does not have a direction. They don't have a goal. I think they're just kind of punting on this season. I mean, what did Malik Willis do at any point? He beat the Colts, and I don't even know if that was last year. That might have been the year before that when he came in for Jordan Love and ended up beating the Colts at home.
He's a guy that has talent.
Is it just this Is it the athleticism?
Yeah.
Because if this
He's got talent.
if that's the point, Anthony Richardson should be a starter somewhere.
And look, he came from a smaller school, so he had to have those years in the league to see what the NFL is all about. Now he's got that experience. Maybe that talent turns into something. I don't know.
See it.
Like,
I've never saw it.
I'm trying to find some good here. Really.
Yeah. The one good thing is Achane. I mean, if he goes on and has a ridiculous year, then
maybe
it'll make this team fun to watch. But defensively too, I mean, you look, and there's not a whole lot to remember. Maybe Josh Uche from Philly, he had a couple of good seasons over there. But yeah, to me, this just seems like a team that is okay with not being competitive this year. And signing Malik Willis, I think, has everything to do with that, because I never saw enough from him. I don't even think the guy's got 17 games under his belt in his NFL career. So being a Colts fan as I am, that's disrespectful that Malik Willis is getting a job, but Anthony Richardson isn't.
Look, I think if you are going to ever tank to get a quarterback, this is probably a good season to do it. Because if Arch decides that he is going to stick around for Texas and play his last season, pull what his uncle did, Peyton.
Dante Moore's there.
Dante Moore's there. Trinidad Chambliss is there. Like, you've got some guys that you could still go after and probably be okay. But really, I mean, you're also tanking for a guy, and if you are for Arch Manning, if that is truly what you're thinking, you're tanking for a kid that has been okay.
He was much improved in the back half of the season last year. So I think, and they got Cam Coleman now. They have a really, really fast offense, and I think that's going to mesh well with what Texas likes to do. They want to be vertical, but they don't have to be, and I think that's what makes them dangerous. But yeah, Dolphins, they're tanking. They have no business trying to win any more than 5 games.
Good to bad from the AFC East. We'll just move down the list throughout the rest of the week. AFC North. We'll look at those teams coming up on tomorrow's show. 522-1410, weigh in. Want your comments, your sarcastic remarks? We don't care. We just love hearing from you on our Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotline. It's back after this.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
40 to the 30. The Birders are on.
High school football is almost here, And your one-stop source for all your high school football is your High School Football Guide from the Mid-America Sports Network. Stay tuned in and hear where you can pick up your copy. Catch each team's season schedule, read about each team and coach, and follow your favorite team all season long. It's the Mid-America Sports Network Football Guide, and it's coming to a location near you.
It's towing season, so that means it's time to come see the experts at Truck Stuff. Whether you're needing a hitch, a gooseneck or bumper pull, a brake controller, or airbags to level the ride, we've got you covered. We'll guide you on what suits your vehicle best so that you can have a safe and enjoyable trip. Whether you want to install it yourself or have our professional installers do it here, we thank you for shopping local at Truck Stuff at their corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, check us out, Truck Stuff.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. Friday afternoon, Live Golf's biggest names battle through the second round in New York beginning at 1. Then on Saturday, it's another full day of Live Golf beginning at 11. And Major League Baseball division rivals square off as the Guardians battle the White Sox at 6. And on Sunday, Live Golf crowns a champion beginning at 10 before IndyCar NICS Racing roars into Portland at 3. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24. Cox Cable Channel 4.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe, put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
For over 55 years and 2 generations, the Southwestern Remodeling Professionals have been providing homeowners in the Wichita area with a truly unique luxury remodeling experience. From the initial consultation through project design and production, our team provides concierge-style service with a true focus on the best quality products and professional installation. Are you ready to experience something truly different? Give us a call today at 263-1239 or visit southwesternremodeling.com.
Every school pickup line has a main character. Most days, it's the kids. But once a year, a parent pulls up in a brand new Kia Telluride. And suddenly, all eyes are on Mom.
Is that the new one? I heard it comes in a hybrid now. I heard it has heated seats in all 3 rows.
And for a moment, the kids aren't the only ones in the spotlight. This August, let that parent be you, because Mom deserves to shine too. Or if it's your student's turn to get behind the wheel, find great starter cars like the K4 sedan and K4 hatchback. Plus, you can get 0% financing on brand new Sportage and Sorrento models. And every new Kia is backed by our unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Whichever model you choose, we have big savings on great vehicles for that main character energy. Only at Midwest Kia.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty.
Looking for a healthier option to get you through the afternoon grind? Check out Dot Greens with 3 locations in Wichita. At Dot Greens, you can find a huge selection of salads, wraps, and sandwiches that won't leave you feeling bloated all afternoon. With the freshest ingredients, you know you'll always feel great after a lunch or dinner at Dot Greens. Check them out at Central and Hillside or at the Waterfront and New Market Square. While you're there, don't forget to pick up a few bottles of freshly pressed juice. Dot Greens, locally owned and operated.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon James. Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Remember, today you listen to The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Got a couple of segments left before we get out of here at the top of the hour. Plenty of time to tell you all about our friends.
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
That's right. It's all about the taste at Taco Tico, the 2-for-5 combo. I was over there yesterday at 13th and Tyler. Picked up my 2-for-5. I got the combo burrito and the taco burger. With the drink, it cost me just a little under $7. It's that simple. To stop by Taco Tico, you can choose from the taco burger, combo burrito, or Sancho. Two of the same, mix and match, doesn't matter. Two of them, only $5 at any of the Taco Ticos. 13th and Tyler, 35th and Rock Road in Wichita. Also in Augusta, Arc City, El Dorado, Newton, Derby. Order online if you don't have a lot of time. They'll have it ready for you at tacotico.us. It's all about the taste with our friends at Taco Tico. 522-1410 is the phone number. I'm flying solo for this segment, so would love for you to weigh in. We've given you a lot of NFL talk today. As a matter of fact, I got to call my buddy Brent Kemnitz because he's calling me right now, and I about forgot to call him. So, Brent, I know you're listening to the show. Hang on here real quick, and I'll give you a call. I got busy doing something during the break and totally forgot that this is our time for our friend Brent Kemnitz to join the show. So let's do this real quick. We'll get Brent on the line, but we've talked a lot of NFL here this morning, so we're going to get a chance to catch up with Brent a little bit and get some of his thoughts. So I'm just going to go straight on the air here. I knew I was forgetting to do something during the break. Knew I was forgetting to do something. It's a little bit new here with James being in on the show.
Hello.
All right, you're right on the air, so don't say anything bad about me. I got busy during the break.
I'll keep it under wraps. I was like, okay, Doug, forgot me today.
Yeah, I was.
But here we are.
Got busy during the break, and then I look down, I see you calling my cell phone, and I'm like, man. And James is in on the show with me today, and just it's you know how it is, Brent, when your normal schedule kind of gets a little bit disrupted, things just happen.
100%. Totally get it. No worries at all.
All right, how you been?
But I have a meeting like at 8:50, so I was like, all right, you better grab me now or I'm out.
Well, see, I was just trying to do everything I could to try to get you out of that meeting.
Well, exactly. Well, that's when I actually want to go to. Or I would have jumped all over that.
All right, so I got some questions for you, and I want you to weigh in on your thoughts and your opinion, because I've been trying to read up a little bit more on this, and I talked to Stan Weber a little bit about this as well. So we know that the NCAA, comes up with this 5-for-5 rule. So basically, you got 5 years to go to college and play 5 years of sports. And that, you can't be a failed pro athlete and come back and play. They really tried to limit all that. So they put this in place. And then some federal judge in Denver, Colorado says, nope, you can't do that. You got to allow these kids from 2022 to have another year of eligibility. It's not going to really affect football for this season because football rosters are pretty much set. It's going to affect basketball. Now you got basketball coaches that are scrambling going, okay, do I have any roster spots left? Because I kind of moved on from this already months ago. The NCAA is going to appeal this. If they win their appeal, how does it affect? Like, what are we doing? And when is this all going to get under control?
Well, I absolutely hate it. I mean, starting with the whole COVID thing, the rosters and just keep giving you extra years and what's the roster limit? I mean, there's not enough spots. I mean, you can add, okay, now we can give this class another year. Well, it's squeezing the class that's coming in. It's squeezing, we'll say, high school kids or JUCO kids that are coming in. I mean, it's just insanity. When does feel and common sense come into play? I don't do well with anything that has no feel, no common sense. It drives me crazy. So fortunately, I was out of the whole coaching world by 5 or 6 years in 2020, but it's like a nightmare trying to figure out your rosters, and it's never ending. And then they come up with this, okay, yeah, you get another year. Well, what's that supposed to do? Like you said, football, okay, maybe isn't a factor with football, but all of a sudden with the basketball rosters, it just drives me crazy. It's the same thing, and we used to fight this all the time in recruiting. Guys would sign a class, and I won't throw any schools under the bus, but they'd sign like 50 guys. And we'd sign our normal 7 or 8 and stay within, whatever roster limit there was supposed to be because we didn't run people off. My deal with recruits was when they'd sign with one of these schools, I'd say, now they still play with 9, right? I mean, they don't have like 15 people on the field.
It's now 4 outfielders.
Well, yeah, exactly. So anyway, that goes way back with me. Just the numbers way out of whack. At what point does a kid sign with the school and say, well, they signed? I think what happens, well, I know what happens. Every kid thinks, well, that doesn't affect me. I'm going to make it. That's maybe a kid below me. I'm not worried about making it. And then it's semester, they're scrambling to find somewhere to go. So I could spend hours on this topic because it drives me crazy. So what's the latest? I mean, the NCAA's appealing it?
Yeah, they're going to appeal it, but who knows how long that's going to take. But this is what's so crazy to me. And look, I've not always been on the side of the NCAA. Believe me, I think that the NCAA have made some bonehead rules and decisions over the course of time. So I've not always been on their side. But this is what gets me is we have all of the schools agreed that the NCAA is the sanctioning body of college athletics. And they have basically been dwindled down to just the enforcer now of college athletics because every single rule that they've made ever since we've started paying players has been challenged in court and overturned. So it's not like the sanctioning body that all the schools got together and basically agreed, we're going to have a sanctioning body. We're going to call it the NCAA. At some point in time, that was developed. And we are going to allow them to make up the rules that we have to live by. But now every rule that they try to come up with, somebody sues and some federal judge in some state that probably doesn't know a damn thing about sports or how they operate overturns it. And I don't understand how that continues to happen.
Well, you make several good points, and a lot of times people just blanketly throw the NCAA under the bus. And what they will come back is, well, that's your part of membership. You guys make the rules, change the rules. We're just enforcing those rules. A quick example, Albert Menace, way back in 2010, 11, his freshman year, he had to set out half of his freshman year because his agent sent a text message to a scout letting him know when he was pitching. And Albert whatever term you're looking for, reported this during some paperwork as he has been admitted into school, and he wore half a year. So I met with the NCAA people, wherever the convention was that year, I think Nashville. I'm going, this is ludicrous. I said, I'm good friends with a lot of scouting directors, general managers that negotiate deals. And if it works, great. If not, the kid goes to school. How come those get ignored? They were like, we totally get it. We totally agree. Membership, you need to change the rules. So a lot of times the NCAA is like, well, we hate the NCAA. And they come back, we'll change the rules, your membership. And that's a very good point. And a lot of people throw the NCAA under the bus on the whole paying players. They fought that forever. Now, with that being said, and they lost a court case. Now, with that being said, there should have been a happy medium before it came to that, where there is a stipend or some kind of money figure that probably would have kept people happy. So there's a lot of arguments and side arguments, but you make good points, and then you have some judge probably doesn't even, not aware, no feel, and now all of a sudden you have all this appeal process. It's insane.
Like if I'm a college coach, especially basketball, I'm throwing my hands up in the air because I'm thinking to myself, I just spent months recruiting for my next season's class. Like I've been out on the road and not on the road as much now because of the way things can be done electronically. But you know what I mean? There's been a lot of time and resources. And now all of a sudden there's this whole new crop of players out there that I didn't even think were going to be eligible that I could have went and got, but I have no roster spots. Like, I don't know what they expect coaches to do.
100%. And that's been my deal forever. Just tell me what's real. Whether I love it, hate it, indifferent, whatever. Tell me the rule book. Here's what we're living with. And then you go out and deal with it. But a lot of times it's thrown on them or twisted at the last minute. And people that were setting their rosters with, okay, here's the rules, all of a sudden it switches on them. So they get punished, so to speak. And by the way, I don't know that I'm just adamantly against it, but kind of shooting from the hip here. Well, it's not shooting from the hip. It's stronger than that. I don't like the 5-year deal. Why do we always mess with something that works? 4 years worked. You have 5 to play 4. If you get hurt, you have a hardship. Boy, I don't get why you always have to adjust, jam up the rules. Most guys graduate in 4 years. I totally don't get that.
I don't mind it because I think it does, if you can get away with it, which who knows with our legal system, it does kind of set a clear cut, all right, from this point in time in your life to this point in time in your life, you can play college sports. But that's it. No other time. And so I kind of like it. I think there's got to be some adjustments to it, though. I do think you have to take in consideration that if a kid gets hurt and you know, we're getting ready to go into football season, so I'll use that as an example. If a kid gets hurt during fall camp and is out for the season, I don't know if it's really fair to take a year of eligibility away from him. But
that's why you have the 5 to play 4.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, the red shirts.
Yeah.
Your Nebraska guys did that forever. Or hardship. You get hurt. And then occasionally, if it's just a really bad injury or whatever, you'd see guys get 6. That was pretty rare. Now it seems like guys get 6, 7, 8. I mean, they're like, it's just insanity for me.
You'd be like Carson Beck and admit you don't even go to school. I graduated 2 years ago.
Some of that. I mean, there's some embarrassing stories from back in the day on that, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. I don't know. I look, the one thing we know about college athletics, we're in an ever-changing landscape, and we're certainly not even, I don't even know if we're halfway through all the changes that are going to happen.
Yeah, and here we are, a month away from football? Not even that. 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
It's August.
25 days.
Which, by the way, I know you feel the same way. I absolutely love college football.
Oh, yeah.
And you get into the fall and the excitement of college football, pro football, even Friday night football. I'm a fan, for sure.
No doubt, man. We're getting all geared up and excited. Our high school football preview magazine will be out here in a couple of weeks, and we've been talking to coaches and getting information and writing stories, and it just gets you fired up once you get right in the middle of all that kind of stuff. All right, so retirement good? Everything's good? You have your own schedule now? You're being able to manage time and all that okay?
Well, I'm absolutely loving retirement. My last day was June 30th. I do have an office over in the foundation. I asked for that. I didn't check out. It's not like it's a paid gig. But they gave me an office, so around a lot of great people. I'm officially ambassador. So I do all the things that, are important to promote the brand, Wichita State. That's why I was like, hey, Doug, you got to get me on. One of the things on my list is I'm on the radio once a week, and I always promote. So I have a meeting here, and one of the things, yep, I'm on every Tuesday with KGSO, pushing the brand, pushing Wichita State. So I had to make sure that happened today.
I will get used to my new schedule and not forget. I promise.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But no, it's been great, and I'm not that guy that lays around and does nothing. I have my little to-do list every day, and I'm really enjoying my world.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, we appreciate your time as always, man. Have a great day and a good meeting.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
See ya. There he goes, our friend Brent Kemnitz. Every Tuesday, as long as I remember, he's on this show at this time. Back to wrap it up next.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
KGSO is back with the second annual SC Wichita Cares for Kids, coming up August 27th and 28th. Join Wichita's sports station as we support the Children's Miracle Network. Hear their powerful stories and help support our children in Wichita. It's the second annual SC Wichita Cares for Kids, August 27th and 28th. And it's brought to you by
Truck Stuff, Jewelry Savers, Davis Liquor Outlet, the Wichita Technical Institute, the Sugar Shack, and Wichita Sports Station KGSO.
Even the finest jewelry needs repairs sometimes, and Wichita's first choice for full-service jewelry repair is Jewelry Savers. Whether you need ring sizing, stone setting, soldering, or shank repair, Jewelry Savers does it, along with lobster clasps, prong retipping, pearl restringing, chain shortened or lengthened, watch repair, watch batteries, watch bands, engraving, cleaning, polishing, even appraisals. Trust Jewelry Savers by Cabela's at K96 in Greenwich.
Jewelry Savers, we don't want $1 million, just a million friends.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Hi, this is Blake Davis with Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Brian Davis with a special on Busch Light 30-packs, only $26.99.
Or grab good old Jim Beam White 1.75 liters, just $30.99.
Davis Liquor Outlet.
Each store independently owned and operated.
Wichita owned, Wichita proud.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe, put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Are you in need of a new dentist? Check out 316 Dental at 13th and West Street. 316 Dental is now offering same-day services with the addition of a second dentist. That's right, same day. The hardworking team includes 4 hygienists and stays open late to fit your schedule. 316 Dental accepts most major insurance companies. Ask them about their new patient special that includes a comprehensive exam and x-rays. They also offer implants and Invisalign.
Care that soars above and beyond the 316 Dental.
See the latest promotions and special events online at kgso.com. This is Wichita's sports station.
You know, 40 years is a long time to be in business, and you got to be really good at what you do in order to last that long. And that's what you find with Andy's Frozen Custard. 4 locations now in and around the Wichita area, and 40 years in business. The reason why they're so good at what they do is because everything is made fresh hourly and daily. They make that frozen custard fresh in the store every single hour. Their baked goods are made fresh every single day. Stop by an Andy's Frozen Custard and get yourself a nice summer treat. You can add fruit, you can add candy, you can add nothing. Chocolate, whatever. It's all at Andy's Frozen Custard. Tell them that the game plan and KGSO sent you in. All right, some house cleaning here to end the show. Bijan Robinson signs a new deal, 3-year extension worth $75 million with the Atlanta Falcons, guaranteed $51 million, making him at $22.25 million per year, the highest paid running back in the NFL.
I don't think I'm surprised that Bijan's the one to receive it. I mean, he's been very electric But obviously, the one thing that held him back was having Tyler Algier being right behind him and taking all those goal line carries away from him. I mean, could you imagine if Bijan had another 15 touchdowns to his name? I mean, this contract would have been even higher. And so I wonder if, teams do this strategically. Like, they know they're going to give a player a second contract, so they limit their rookie years just so they don't have to pay way too much for a player. 'Cause that's what it kind of seemed like with Atlanta, because they just kept Algier around for seeming no reason. I mean, Bijan's the best all-around back in the league. I mean, according to a lot of people, I personally don't think he is, but I mean, he's got the ability to change field in a blink of an eye.
It's either that or they're protecting their investment, knowing that they're going to have to pay him.
Right, they're going to have to pay him anyway.
Yeah.
So I think this was the right move for them. Obviously, he is the offense. Like, the offense is around him, especially now with whoever the hell they're going to put out at quarterback. Not thing one, thing two, but injured one and injured two. Whoever's going to be leading the charge over there. But no, they absolutely had to lock that down because they don't have that quarterback that they can lock down.
Hey, and he'll hold the record for like a week, and then Jahmyr Gibbs will come and get more.
I don't even say a week. I think this happens later this week.
You do?
I think it happens in like 2 to 3 days, and he's gonna beat him by a couple $1 million, and we'll just be talking about this again in a few days.
When did we change that from hold out to hold in? Because it says Bijan was a hold in until he got his new contract. Is Jahmyr Gibbs a hold in?
I don't even know what that term is.
Does that mean that
I've never heard of that?
You're in the building and you're going to meetings, you're just not practicing?
That could be it. Yeah, that could be it. You're still involved, but you're just not on the practice field.
Maybe?
Because when Jonathan Taylor was holding out, he was still in the building, and he was still, at the facilities and whatnot, and still practicing with team, but he just wasn't on the actual team practices. But he was holding out. So I don't know what exactly these two terms mean.
I don't know. It described him as a hold in. I'm like, when did we change it to a hold in and not a hold out? I wasn't for sure. And then Hard Knocks. New season premiere tonight with the Seahawks. Are you a Hard Knocks guy?
I've honestly never gotten into it.
The first year I did, and then after that, I kind of lost. It lost my attention.
To me, it's reality TV show for football.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's all it really is. It's Desperate Housewives, but football edition. And so, I mean, in some cases, you'll be able to get in a little bit deeper and find out, okay, this is what's happening behind closed doors, because we don't get that clarity a lot of the times.
Right.
And we don't get to hear, exact reasonings as to why certain things may be the way they are. So I think it's okay in that aspect, but towards the end of Hard Knocks, I think they do kind of lose their vision a little bit, and they do kind of skew off to, different things. But I think the concept is right. I think it should be for a team that's struggling. And that's what it started off as, was let's go cover these teams that are bad, and let's see the ins and outs of why they're, not super successful. I don't know if I'm really interested in watching the reigning champs Hard Knocks. Like that to me, just that doesn't seem like there's any drama there, because everything's going well, everything's going fine. I mean, emotions are high, tensions are low. So I just don't see the drama grab from covering a team that has success, because we all like to see drama. I mean, that's what sucks us in as human beings. And so why would you not want to watch a team that's dysfunctional?
But you know what? With that, here's the thing about it, though. Like, a lot of people are picking Seattle to maybe run it back. I am not one of them. I don't even think Seattle will be back in the Super Bowl. I think we have 2 new teams this year. But have they not been like the quietest Super Bowl champs that we've seen? Like, you don't hear a lot about Sam Darnold in the offseason like you did Mahomes after he won. Mike McDonald, the coach, I mean, is anybody putting him up there as like this all-time great coach now? It's been pretty quiet. And then you lose a big piece in Kenneth Walker Jr.
They obviously felt that he was a replaceable guy. And Zach Charbonnet, to me, I think he was a very, very reliable backup. He was a very good complementary piece. But I think obviously they had their concerns if he could be their back-to-back guy, their down-to-down guy, and I don't think that he can. I think they're going to roll with Jadarian Price. I think they're going to make him kind of their lead back and then when Charb comes back. I think they're going to be able to roll him out nicely, and they're going to be able to keep that 2 running back system that they were so good with last year. Because Kenny was a speed guy, but he also had power with him too.
Right, yeah.
And Charb was more of the power guy. He didn't have the top end speed, but he was effective and shifty, and he's a little guy too. So he was able to find those small gaps, and he was effective when he played. So I don't think the identity of Seattle is going to change much.
Sean gives us the definition between hold out and hold in. He said it turned into hold in when they started issuing $50,000 a day fines for holding out. And yes, hold in means they're present in the building.
Okay. Then maybe someone was lying then about Jonathan Taylor. They said he was holding out, but he was in the building. So I don't know.
So if you're in the building, you don't get the $50,000 fine, apparently.
Correct, because you're still at the facility.
All right.
And that's what I do
Didn't
remember.
the teams pay that anyway?
I don't know if the teams do.
I mean, somebody did. I don't think the players played. Maybe they did. I don't ever remember a player going, man, it cost me $1 million or whatever. $50,000 a day is a lot. You'd rack it up quick.
Yeah, to these guys, though, it doesn't matter.
I guess not. Guess not. All right, so if you want to tune into Hard Knocks, here's why I don't watch it. One, I'm too cheap. I don't buy HBO Max, and I'm not going to do it for this. And honestly, I like the quarterbacks documentary on Netflix better.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it's better. All right, James, we'll do this again tomorrow.
All right. Take Scooball and the Dodgers, by the way. Scooball debuting for the Dodgers today in Chicago.
All right. That's your bet? That's your pick?
Win by 2.
Very good. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. right here on The Game Plan.